Fantastic pass. He decides to roll. Smithy Centrals are kicking to the northern end.
To the northern end here
and,
at the
Norwood are kicking to their the members' stand end, which they love doing so.
And it is an absolute magnificent day. And your first caller is going to be Dennis Brown.
Yes, thank you, Smitty. They're about to take this first bounce. We've got Jonathan Yerbury for the legs and also Big Damien Arnold for the Dogs. Apparently turned in a blinder last week. Down goes the bounce. Who's going to get the first tap? In fact, it was Yerbury. He recovered the ball, hit the deck, taken away for the Redlegs. Well, attempted to be taken away. The handball came out. It came out to Slade around the corner, and he's found Holm just outside the attacking 50 for the Doggies. They're about 60 metres from goal. Looking for movement ahead. None forthcoming at the moment. Still hesitating. He's going to bomb it in long to the centre-half forward position. Players will fly for the ball at the back. Fleming had an opportunity. He fires out the handball, gives it over to his teammate there in Crouch. Crouch further afield here. And the ball kicked back up towards the half-back flank. And chipping in to take the mark is... Not sure who that is, but he got the handball over, gave it out to Davey. Davey was grabbed high, then got the handball out here to the half-back flank taken there by Dawes. Dawes got the left footer now, back up to centre-half forward. Two Norwood players contest each other. In fact, the one spoilt the other. This allowed Harada to pick up the footy and kick it out to centre wing on the outer side of the ground. Bad play there for the leg. Gives the opportunity for Justin Castley, for the ball forced over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Scott Ball-Ace is still down injured after that clash at centre-half back for Norwood, so he's not looking too good either. Throw in on the far side.
Called the stretcher.
And they have called for a stretcher, so play will stop. It hasn't stopped yet. Norwood break free. Get it down to the wing. Coming forward there and meeting the ball was Yerbury.
Now this is dangerous.
But Daniel was in after the ball at the bottom. He'll get the free kick for Central District on the wing. And yes, we have the stretcher out on the ground, but the play's continuing. It goes into the Central District half-forward line. Finally, Norwood come away with the ball. That'll be a free kick in the back. And finally, the umpires have called a halt.
Crossy, I just can't understand why this umpire here, who's standing 5 metres away when that free kick was given on the wing, didn't blow when he saw the stretcher run straight.
He actually looked at it, and he looked at the other umpire and didn't put the whistle in his goal.
I couldn't believe that.
Absolute disgrace.
And we'll just tap the
umpires coaches over here. They should be writing frantically.
They are. So finally, we're probably in for a 2 or 3 minute delay now.
Well, no score here at the parade at this stage, and we've played 2 minutes of time on the scoreboard here.
Smithy, the Norwood team have a habit of knocking each other over, don't they? Last week, Sanford and Obbs almost killed each other.
But what you were saying earlier about the Norwood side losing it for the last 3 or 4 games, no talking whatsoever there.
No.
That should never have happened.
Well, it's certainly not Ball-Ace's fault. What should have happened is the direction the coaches give these days, or for a long time, even back when you played DB, is that players 10 and 15 metres away call players in or call players out.
Yep.
And that follows through whether you're playing senior footy or amateur footy.
It's getting to the stage now, and is where they're actually calling them in rather than calling them out. And you become the blocker or the shepherd or whatever you want to call it. So, but anyway, the player is off the ground now, and we're getting back to the game.
And I suspect he's got a rib injury after all that. And
why did he walk off?
Well, he was moving. So.
Davey's got the ball at half-back finally and kicks to the wing for Norwood. And up strongly and punched away by Harada. Comes to ground in front of the pack. Ball in dispute still. It's finally scrambled forward by Central District. Steinberner over the ball, but he's met by, I think that's Davey underneath the pack. Blocks the way. The umpire moves in for another bounce.
Actually, good spoil there by Harada Crossy. He spoiled it. It went 20-30 minutes, just as valuable as a kick.
Ball down, and we're at half forward for Centrals. Punched forward there by Arnold. He's been dominant the last few weeks. The ball, and it will be called as, I think it was Bassett. No, Clements has got the free kick. Just held on to there in the back pocket. He's looking for options. Still considering his options, still weighing up. He'll come to the grandstand side, the Wood Street side. And it's a ball kick because it lands straight in the hands of Hopwood. So Hopwood will... Well, that's a... Oh, gee, that looked a dangerous kick too as he chipped it in short to Bello. Bello's got the ball and he'll drive it in, you would think, into Central District's 50, and that's another shocking disposal. It's just poor stuff, really. Finally, it was intercepted by Davey. Hand pass ends with Dawes. Dawes goes wide. He's found Bowman. Bowman over the top to Warrior. Back to Bowman. He's met and he'll be penalised for that as he fended off his opponent from Centrals, and the umpires deemed that that fend was too high, and the free kick there to Matthew Slade. Slade, another chip inside, and Scott Lee comes out and meets it at half forward for Central District. Still no score, and we've travelled 5 minutes in this game.
Right, he kicks the ball out there to centre wing. He's got a Guernsey loose out there, and the mark taken for the Dogs by Michael Stevens. So Stevens now will go long. The drop punt's a beauty. It's going to go right to the head of the square almost. A big tackle fly. There was a player edged out, taken off the hands. Left foot snapped there. Might have been Bello. We'll wait on it. It was Bello, and it's a goal to the Dogs. Beautifully done by Bello. Read that off the pack and has popped it through for the Doggies' first goal on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard there. One straight goal, the Redlegs yet to score.
Marco Bello, a clever little player, boys, and he always gets to the front of the pack. He's been damaging through the year, and he got front and square there, took the crumbs, and around on the left foot, kicked a very handy first goal.
Well, Anis, that's why you know that you've got to be, as a little fella like that, a Rover's always got to be front and square of the pack, and certainly did that well with Marco Bello.
And already I've noticed a couple of forays into the forward line by Norwood. Just no system whatsoever, bombing it in.
Hello, looks like Joe Picnick's just here.
Yes, and the bounce down in the centre taken by the man that just kicked the last goal in Bello. He's thrown to the ground by young Dawes, I think it was, and we'll have a bounce down back in the centre.
DB, just quickly, Peter Rhodes obviously sees McGowan as a key player for Central, so he's actually got Crouch pick him up, tagging him very closely.
Right down goes to bounce Yerbury and Arnold. Arnold with a right-handed tap to McGowan. McGowan, handball is a beauty, and it's found Hopwood. Hopwood kick up towards 10.5 forward. The chipping in the way is Todd Davey. Gives it over to Bowman. Bowman on the left foot, out towards centre wing. The long lead out there for Norwood there by Scotty Doreen, but it beats him over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Gee, poor kick that, DB. Should have really fanned him. There was no real pressure on the kicker then, was there?
No, none whatsoever. He was free about 5 or 10 metres as the ball is thrown in. Yerbury and Arnold. Arnold almost made front position, tapped it down. The opportunity now for McGowan and tried to get the handball out there. He was looking for his teammate in Daniel, but the ball was smothered, and once again back over the boundary line. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on out there with Eugene Warrior involved as the ball is thrown in once again. This time Yerbury got a left-handed tap. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of Yerbury, hanging on according to the umpire against Big Arnold. So Yerbury now to drive the legs into attack. A high drop punt towards 10.5 forward. Up in all by himself. No, the Shepherd's been paid against Fighting Harada. And looks like Ben Nelson's got the free kick, and I thought he was well within range to Shepherd there, boys. I don't know whether you noticed that.
Well, it was one of those questionable ones. The old like 3 or 5 metres. He perhaps could have done it a little bit more subtly.
Well, yes, okay. Yeah.
Well, Wilson's ended up with it. He's going to kick from around about 48 metres, virtually directly in front, going to the southern end. The drop punt's on its way. It's not going to make the distance. Can we have someone out there taking a mark? No, it's been rushed through for a behind. So that's Norwood's first score. It's 1 behind on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. They trail Central's 1 straight goal.
We'll have Hicks down there to kick it out for Centrals, bring it back, and he'll go to the far side of the ground. And you wouldn't believe the player could get that loose, and he's dropped the mark. That's bad stuff from Stevens. Finally, though, it comes back for Centrals. Ball smothered as Swatala tried to kick it, and it's still in dispute. Swatala gets it again, finally pushes the ball outside 50. In dispute, but it was Crouch who came away with it for Norwood. Now he drives it inside the 50. The kick's swirling in a bit of a breeze. It might even... No, a point. Very, very close. The bounce just took it for a point.
Boys, now it looks to me like it's a calm day, no wind, and the footy must be flat because the skills today have been actually quite deplorable.
Just a bit of pressure on at the moment, I think. We're fine.
Kicks back in from Hicks and eastbound Harada on the grandstand side. Moves back in, looking towards the lead, coming down from...
Oh, good man.
And in front that was...
Crouch.
That's Crouch. Crouch, yep.
Young Crouch, who I don't recognise. He gets a handball out to Clements. He drives it in, looking for Neil. Neil's beaten to the football and it's punched away. Finally comes to ground. That's Pascoe. Moves onto his left leg, chips it out wide, and probably within centimetres, I would have thought, of the boundary line. It's been pulled in by Gallagher. So he's around, he'll kick from about 60 metres. He chips it in short, looking for the lead of Wilson. At the base of the pack and roving it well was Swatala again. He goes wide and Daniel gets forced out of bounds. I'll get that right in a moment.
And we've played 10 minutes on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock, and on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, it's Norwood 2 points. They trail Central's a goal.
Ball thrown in, well and deep inside the Norwood forward line. Wilson comes out and meets it, scrambles loose a hand pass. Raider ends up picking it up for Centrals, weaves his way through and then delivers the hand pass wide. That comes to Stevens and he kicks it downfield and finds on the wing Sam McArdle. McArdle now back, will drive towards half forward for Centrals. Lee bustles for position and takes a mark. A good mark He's a short man to be playing on a guy like Dale Fleming, but he's doing a good job so far. Lee now looking for a lead inside half forward, and both sides have had problems getting inside half forward. Chips it across to Holm. Holm takes it, and now he's loose and runs on and kicks from 55 metres. The long kick and a goal. Unbelievable. You wouldn't have thought he could kick that. But the breeze is a bit fluky. I tell you, they're getting a lot more distance to that end of the ground.
Well, the scores here on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, that Central's 2 straight goals. They lead Norwood at 2 points, and Undies Holm just seemed to get around very easily there.
Well, he's a good player. He's a hard nut, isn't he? And he always attacks a player with the ball. And he got around, got himself 2 metres clear, steadied, and kicked a very good goal. As Crossy called it, didn't really pick him from outside 50, but he got home just.
I think the point Smitty was making was the effort of Scotty Doreen in attempting to tackle Holm. He just made it look too easy as the ball has bounced down in the centre. The bodies go in. A chance now for the Dogs. Can't be picked up there. It was the Slade that was in there. The ball kicked off the ground up towards 10.5 forward. Bowman gets the better of the bounce and turns around and blindly kicks it back to the centre. It's all the Dogs back there, a kennel full of them, and the mark taken there by Rick McGowan. Poor kick that by Bowman. It's McGowan now will drive the ball towards 10.5 forward. Bowman and his opponent there, McArdle. The ball comes to the ground. Lee went to kick it off the ground. Todd Davey gets the handball out here. Gives it to his teammate who kicks it along towards centre wing. At first there is Swatala. Swatala's got a Guernsey loose all by himself out there at 10.5 forward. He turns around McArdle and goes bang, and I think he's missed. Well, gee whiz, he had a golden opportunity there. No pressure whatsoever. And he turned around and he's fair him and he just got it into the behind. So at the moment now, Central District 2 goals, 1-13 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Norwood 2 behind.
So it's just inexperienced one at Undies.
Inexperienced, 20 metres out straight in front. You stop and have a kick.
That's certainly dead right.
Right, the ball kicked out to the pocket. Davies got it. The handball now to Bassett. Bassett for the leg. Brings it along centre wing. The 2 1-on-1 back there. Swatala dives over the footy. Forces it over the boundary line and was out for a fair while before the boundary umpire blew the whistle. And he'll come and put the ball back into play. So the Dogs, the better at the moment of the two sides, as the umpire about to throw it in. There's the throw. Yerbury got a right-handed tap. Nobody can take the ball. Arnold taps it on cleverly. Steinburner trying to pick it up for the Dogs. Can't do so. The ball up at the bottom of the pack. No one can get a clean possession. And the umpire will move in and bounce the ball at centre wing on the grandstand side.
One thing, DB, the Central side seem to be going a little bit harder at the moment, don't they, than the Norwood side?
Certainly do.
Certainly tough in the pats. As we wait for the umpire, they seem to take forever to bounce the ball. Finally he does. Yerbury and Arnold again entangled. Arnold gets it back to McGowan, who's met solidly by Doreen, and the ball eventually goes over the line to be thrown in again. Beautiful tap from Arnold. McGowan, though, was set upon. Ball back into play. Virtually on centre wing. And again, Arnold goes with Yerbury, and again, Arnold gets a tap down. Scrambled forward, finally. The kick comes out of the pack from Slade. It's inside half forward for Centrals. Fleming's got the ball for Norwood, tries to get the foot to the ball. Finally, it's Crouch. Loose right foot kick down to the wing. Warrior makes position. Daniel gets the free kick. Warrior called in that case for holding on.
If you don't mind.
So Daniel takes a free kick for Central. Drives it inside half forward again. Ball off hands. Central set up. Holm knocks the ball forward. Lee runs onto it. Easy goal.
Fantastic play by Holm there. Very, very clever. Put his arm out and got it across. Fantastic play by putting his body on the line. And that's Central's 3rd goal. And they go on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. 3 goals, 19 points, leading Norwood 2 points. Let's go around the grounds thanks to the Great Southern Pie Company.
Yes, it's the Western Bulldogs 4-5-29, leading Port 3-3-21. Sturt 2 straight goals 12, Lee Glenelg 1 straight goal 6. The Eagles 1 straight goal 6, lead South yet to score. And West Adelaide 1 straight goal 6, lead North Adelaide yet to score.
Back in the centre. Thank you, Peter. The ball tapped down by Yerbury, taken by Crouch. He tried to bust through, can't do so. Gets the handball out, though, to his teammate there in Gallagher. Gallagher left footer up towards half forward. A chance now for Hereda. He can't control the footy. Wilson got the handball out. In goes Eugene Warrior. Gets or tries to get a handball out. Does so. Here's a chance, though, for the red leg. Picked up and bombed in towards goal. Will it go through? No, it's been touched, I think, on the line. As the kick there was from Kemp, Ben Kemp. The kick in towards full forward, but just didn't make the distance, touched on the line. So Norwood off target at the moment. They just aren't playing with the same purpose that the doggies
They
are.
just haven't got that zip, have they?
No, they haven't. And the ball to be kicked back into play by Damien Hicks. He'll go short and finds Slade. Slade across the half-back line for the doggies. Still in the defensive 50. Will bring it to centre wing, grandstand side. The big men are there. That was Arnold and also Yeobury. Thumped away. McGowan put his head down, tried to pick it up. Arnold tapped it on cleverly. He gave it over to his teammate there in Castley. Castley gave it to Steinburner. Steinburner kicked it to centre wing, and the advantage being paid as it picked up by Pitt. And there's one from home after he got rid of the footy. And it wouldn't be the first time that that's happened, I can tell you. And he's paid the advantage.
Well, hang on. I saw that, Debbie, and I'm sure you did.
Yes.
He's touched you around the jaw. If he starts him around the jaw and the umpire's seen it, you'd have to question whether there's a report there.
Exactly.
Well, no, we hit him in the top of the arm, I think you'll find.
Taken by Ben Wilson towards centre-half forward. No one can take the ball decisively. In fact, it's Swatala who comes out. The handball good as he receives the back up now from Hereda. Hereda's kick out towards the half-back lane. Todd Davies did well. He intercepted that pass, picked it up and put it on the left boot towards centre-half forward. Oh, anything was happening in that pack as it looked like Holman darted in and tried to split it. Comes to Castle. He doesn't know where to go. Get the handball out. Warriors got the opportunity. He's in there. He gets the handball out, taken there by Dawes. He couldn't get it. The kick was smothered, picked up and fired again by Kemp in towards full forward. Steinburner committed himself with the footy. 3-on-1 back there, favouring the doggies, but it cannot be controlled. And it goes over the boundary line there with the opportunity to Hopwood.
DB, very lucky Norwood there. 3 players to 1 Centrals, and it was lucky that it rolled out of bounds. Otherwise, the ball would have been up the other end of the ground very smartly.
Even at this early stage, important that Norwood get a score on the board here. They've really struggled to go forward. Sutala gets the ball out to Hicks and they'll clear it out of their defensive zone. McGowan's got about 20 metres to move. He'll finally get the bounce, then he gets the handball inside. Hicks has run down and is blocked as he kicks the ball. I think that was Doreen. No, it was Robbie Neal who pushed him off. The ball out of bounds on the wing. So Central's at this stage leading by 16 points. And again, our ruckman will go at it on centre wing. Bit of a look around from Yeobury and then gets the tap down nicely. It's sprung and finally comes back to Yeobury. Now he gets the hand pass down to Gallagher, I think that was, and he goes forward, inside half forward looking for Wilson. Brilliant pick up by Wilson. Gets it out to Neal. Neal's handball goes astray. But Norwood retained possession. Wilson's got another chance. Flicks the ball out. And that was 21.
Ben Kemp.
Is Ben Kemp. He's driven the ball inside half forward, inside the 50 zone. It's still in dispute, knocked forward by Central District. Daniel now over the ball. He's 60 metres from the Norwood goal and is carried over the line in that tackle by Dawes.
We mentioned a couple of times during this quarter, boys, that Norwood are a little bit lacklustre. I think they're missing the drive of Cunningham and Harvey out of the middle. But Centrals, they are hard and they're at it, boys.
Certainly are.
Well, Norwood now, ball in from the throw-in. It comes to Neal, outside 50, kicks in, looking for Pascoe. Hands up, and there's a mark.
Yeah,
Pascoe just 10 metres out from goal. Nice mark.
Good strong mark there by Pascoe. Made his way to the front position, held strength, and a very good play there by Neal, getting it in long and very quickly. And as Crossy called in the commentary there, he did say that Norwood need to score very quickly, and they've got an opportunity now.
The fact that he's 6 inches taller than everybody else, Smitty, might help.
That probably helps a bit, doesn't it? Anyway, Norwood's going to have a shot at goal at the southern end. Their first opportunity to put a goal on the board. He's coming in now. Pascoe with the chance to put Norwood's first goal on. Left foot, and he's made no mistakes. That's Norwood's first goal. They go to 1 goal, 3-9. They trail Central's 3 goals, 1-19 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And we've just entered time on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock. And courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company, we'll go around the ground.
The Western Bulldogs 6-5-41 lead Port 3-4-22. Brisbane 7-5-47 lead Collingwood 3-3-21. Melbourne 9-4-58 lead Essendon 6-2-38. Sturt 3-1-19 lead Glenelg 1 straight goal 6 points. South Adelaide 3-2-20 lead the Eagles 1 straight goal 6 points. And West Adelaide 4 straight goals 24 lead North yet to score. Back to Norwood.
Thank you, Peter. Back in the centre, Yeobury and Arnold. Yeobury got the tap further afield by Neal, but the ball was taken by Castley. He bombs it in towards centre-half forward. Pitt read it off the pack beautifully, but turned around and blazed aimlessly on the free kick to the leg. As Castley had his eyes on the ball, but ran slap bang into Cotton, the former teammate, and Gareth Cotton will relieve the pressure for the legs. Cotton now between centre and half-back on the grandstand side. That familiar left foot has put the ball up to centre wing. Players fly for the ball. Hicks was in front, off the hands of the pack. Castley there, McGowan, the handball to Bello, who's actually wearing number 17 now, as he fires the handball out, taken by Joseph Hicks. He ducked the head and will get the free kick. And Joseph Hicks now to take the free kick out of centre wing for the Bulldogs.
That just wasn't there, was it?
Well, I didn't think so, but anyway, there's the kick towards centre-half forward. The central player came out. He was in front of the pack but couldn't take the mark. That player was in fact Mazarowski. The ball at the bottom of the pack, kicked off the ground. Here's a chance for Castley. He's going to be there first by a mile if he can pick it up. Does so. Handball to McGowan. McGowan looked the handball, then kicked the drop putt towards centre-half forward. There's a bit of a stoush going on back towards the ground. It's taken off and kicked through for a sausage roll to Scotty Lee. And that's his second goal with Scott Lee. So the doggies doing it well here at the parade. They move along to 4 goals, 125 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. The Redlegs 139.
What Centrals are doing very well is they just continually to force that ball forward, and when the ball's in dispute on the ground, they're tapping it forward towards their goal, tapping it towards a player. They're looking up, seeing the legs of their teammates and getting it out there. And Scotty Lee, forever the opportunist, he spent half his career in the back line. He's relishing this time up forward.
We've seen Arnold tap the ball across along the ground a couple of times too and find some good running players.
Ball down in the centre again, and Arnold gets a tap out into the running McGowan's path. It's intercepted by a Norwood player, and McGowan tackles him immediately. And
Gallagher, I think it might have been.
Gallagher off the wing, was it? Yes, it was. So the ball locked up. Umpire calls for it again. Dewberry and Arnold. And just a blood rule at half-back, and I think you'll find that's a central player. It's Daniel coming off the ground. Umpire's called a blood rule.
No, he's not making any rule speed records, is
Don't
he?
hurry, son. We'll just wait for you.
Gee whiz. Well, here at the Norwood Oval, it's just gone into time on, as we said on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock. Centrals 4 goals, 125. They lead Norwood 1 goal, 3-9 at this stage.
And at the same time, Smithy Fleming off and McCormack on for Norwood.
Okay.
Christian McPherson came on for Daniel, and I tell you what, I had the binoculars on Daniel. It'd be hard pushed to find the blood.
Is that right?
So we're about to start the play again. So the umpire bounces the ball inside the centre square, slightly favouring the central end, and it comes down and eventually comes out. It's McGowan, I think, on the end of a tackle from Crouch. Crouch gets up, picks the ball up, and he's besieged as well by Slade. Ball still continuing. Castley's come out with it. Now McGowan. McGowan handballs it backwards. Pushed in the back was Hicks just as he kicked, but he got it forward. Finally, it's gone inside half forward for Central. Making good ground was Holm, and what's he paid for? Well, the ball came loose away from Holm, and then the umpire had a second thought and gave the free kick. Holmes handball to Steinburn. He goes into the lead of Mazurowski. The ball comes to ground, and it's picked up, and a look-away handball came from McCardle. He's gone to Lee. Lee off the left leg. Ball marked by Neal, 10 metres out from goal. Chips to the far side, so the switch is on.
Gallagher.
Gallagher it is. Gallagher now looks longer, and leading down is the half-forward Warrior. Tends to give his player a shove under the ball, then takes possession, then is dispossessed by the tackle, and the player coming at him was Michael Stevens. Ball at half-forward for Norwood, outside the 50 zone. What did they be? 70, 80 metres from goal. Half-back, sorry, for Norwood. The ball in play again. Yerbury flies over the top, gets the tap down. Neal finally is on the end of the handball, gets the ball down there forward, but intercepting it was Swatala. He's had a good first quarter, and he's just dragged down in time as he kicked the ball by Dawes from Norwood. And again, ball out of bounds on the wing.
Yeah, Norwood just bombing the ball at the moment. They really aren't looking, boys, are they? They just seem to be throwing it on the boot without any system whatsoever, as Arnold makes front position. A double-handed tap, puts the ball back towards the boundary line. Crouch was there first for the legs. But the ball had the momentum and carried over the boundary line for another throw-in. Centre wing on the outer side of the ground. If you've just tuned in here, it's at Central District 4-125, Norwood 139 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And we're into time on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock. The ball smothered out of that throw-in, taken by McGowan. McGowan handball is good. He gives it to his teammate there, out there. Might have been Stevens. Stevens up towards 10.5 forward. Almost Mazarowski to mark, taken off hands. A chance now. Steinburner with pace on the left boot. It looks good, and he's good. It's through for a sausage roll to the doggies, and they're playing like a team possessed at the moment in comparison to Norwood. 5 goals, 131 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, and Norwood lamenting 139.
And courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company, we'll check scores from around the grounds.
Western Bulldogs 7-5-47 lead Port 3-6-24. Brisbane 8-6-54 lead Collingwood 3-3-21. And Melbourne 11-4-70 lead Essendon 6-4-40. Back to Norwood.
Thank you, Peter. And as we said here, Central's 5 goals, 131. They lead Norwood 1 goal 3, doing all the attacking at the moment.
Yeah, back in the centre. Crouch and McGowan having a few words there. The bounce has gone down, and who's infringing the square? It must be the doggy, because Yerbury's got the free kick. It comes out now to Doreen. Doreen now dodges past Arnold, only just so. Then gets past Bellow, then puts the drop punt up to the half-forward flank. Big pass goes out in front of Geister. Gathered in well for a big man. Handballed it back to Gallagher at the top of the 50-metre area. He'll go short there, looking for his teammate. Oh, up over the top, though. The good mark taken by Damien Hicks. But he had the drop on his opponent there in Jason Marsh. The ball was high, and Marsh caught underneath the footy, allowed Hicks to come over the top and pull down a good mark. So Hicks now to relieve the pressure for the doggies. Last line of defence. He'll bring it out here looking for Cashley. And the pass is a beauty. The lead's equal to the pass. And Cashley takes the mark. Right on the defensive 50 for the Dogs. Brings it along centre wing. Steinburner in front. The ball thumped away by Pitt towards the boundary line. And we've got a throw in on the grandstand side, right in front of the 5 RPH commentary position.
And the kick wasn't really up to what the lead and the mark was from Castley. Got knocked out of bounds. So the ball in again. We're on centre wing. And it was Arnold got the better of that. Bello went to hand pass. The hand pass wasn't good, and it's gone to Ben Kemp. Kemp now inside half forward, looking and diving at the ball was Marsh on the lead. He missed it. Gallagher leads in the chase for the crumbs. Gallagher's got it. Twists, turns, goes to his left leg, gets it inside 50. He's looking for Pascoe, and the call from the umpire is, wait for it, because it could be 6 of one, half a dozen of another. And he's ruled it's a free kick to Hereda. So he ruled that Pascoe on the lead was actually holding Hereda back. And in fact, I think I'm wrong there. I think it might be Geister who's actually got the free kick.
Yeah, it is Geister, but yeah, you caught it right there, Crossy. Pascoe was leading to the ball, and how he could hold his opponent back is beyond me, because he was probably 2 or 3 metres in front of him. But anyway.
Well, the umpires are closer than us. That's a wonderful phrase, that, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't mean anything.
Yes, and they played a lot of footy too.
When you don't know exactly why the free kick's there, you say the umpires are closer. So Geister gets the ball, awkward kicking style off the left leg, goes wide effectively, and he finds, I think that's Hicks out there who's taken the ball.
Joseph variety.
In fact, Joseph Hicks. So Hicks, the former Sturt player, goes now down to the wing. Beautiful skills, looking for a raider. Ball punched away by the Norwood defender. Finally, it comes back, and it's McGowan. He moves onto his left leg, looks inside half forward. Ball into space as Lee comes out to meet it. It bounces over the top and finally belted away by the Norwood defence. Again, that was Clements. It comes to Arnold. He bombs it in long, and the only player back there is a Norwood defender, and that was Clements who took it. And then he chipped it short. And he chips it to Dawes. He got a bad bounce. Taps it loose. Lee pounces on it. He's grabbed without the ball. Free kick. And as the umpire let it go on, no, he hasn't. So Lee will line up. So
showed his experience there, Smithy, didn't he?
He certainly did show his experience. He knew the player was going to tackle him, and he just threw the arms out, and Lee's got the free.
He used every one of his 36 years there. He knew he wasn't going to get it and run away, so he would just sort of prod on it, sit on there and wait for someone to hang on to him, and up go the arms.
Well, what about the kick from McCormack? That was an absolute barren crock.
Lee lines up 25 metres out, directly in front, and he's got his 3rd goal for the quarter. Central 6, they go to 6 goals, 1-37. They lead Norwood 1 goal, 3-9, and gee whiz, Norwood want to get a moodle on, because they are starting to get way behind undies, and it might be just out of their reach to get back into this game.
Well, I tell you what, this Central side, they are an enigma, aren't they? They come out one week and they are god-awful, and then the next week they are fantastic. We saw them play Port earlier in the year, and they were absolutely magnificent, and then a few weeks later they're just terrible. But Scotty Lee, 36 years old, I don't know whether he's kicked 3 1/4 before, but he would be having an absolute picnic down there in the forward pocket.
And the other thing is, we saw Norwood last week, and they picked up where they left off. Exactly. Down goes the bounce. Yerbury and Arnold. The ball out the back. Taken there by Hopwood. The hurry kick to half forward. Cashley in front. Had his eyes on the footy and takes the mark. Certainly a lot differently built than his father. I can give you the shortener there as Cashley bumps it towards centre half forward. Bellows there. Big Arnold over the back. Oh, they're doing it too easily, the Dogs. They are just running round like unregistered bulldogs at the moment.
Well, they certainly are. Arnold has marked the ball. He'll kick from around about 48 metres. The angle shouldn't worry him. There's no breeze to talk about. Great play by Castley to get the ball in there, and as DB called it, he's not built like his father. He's about 2 foot shorter.
Both very good fishermen, though.
But Arnold with a long drop punt, and it looks like it's going away to the left-hand side. It's going through for a point. So they're second behind They go to 6 goals to 38. They lead Norwood 1 goal 3-9 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And we've played 10 minutes of time on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock.
The ball will be back into play from Norwood, from the point. And you can guess that Central's have had an easier path to goal. Shocking kick in as well. It's straight over the head of Bassett, who was barely 20 metres from the kick-out point, and Clements missed him. And finally, the umpires picked out a free kick.
Gee whiz, I tell you what, we want to get someone down there and listen to what Peter Rhodes got to say.
I want to go down at quarter time and listen to Macca.
I don't think you'll have any problems. You'll hear him from up here. So
exactly.
Bassett's got the ball. He's about 40 metres from goal, and he goes short, and he's looking for Bowman, but stepping in and pushing the ball across the line with Steinberner.
Crossy, you don't think you could have seen Steinberner there? He's not that small.
I think he backed his skills, and I think his skills were lacking there.
No
the other thing is he kept the ball way too low for a guy who's got so much pace in Steinberner. Anyway, ball back into play. Bellows on the bottom of the pack now. He was on top of Gallagher for a moment. Now he's being forced into the ground by Dawes from Norwood. The umpire has finally called a halt, and he's going to bounce it. And puts the ball down, and Arnold comes from behind and tries to knock it forward. Doesn't get it anywhere. Davey was the man who took the tap, immediately set upon by Slade, and he got pinged for holding the ball. So Slade takes his kick, it's inside half forward, and finally McCormack takes a nice mark, kicks it long, crouches under it. Opposed to a central opposition comes in, and Daniel takes the ball. Umpire calls a hold again. And isn't that always the way? It's the biggest rule in football, holding the ball, holding the man.
One thing, Crossy, that the Norwood players all ran forward of the ball there. The Centrals players all stood and confronted the ball, and Harada did a very good job in holding up the Norwood player there.
So the ball down, and Yeobury gets it out, and 3 Norwood players going for the ball, and finally it's flicked over the top by Kemp, and it's flicked straight to Central District, and they kick it back out of defence, and that was Hopwood, and the ball's ended in the arms of Pitt for Norwood. And he's looked for Doreen on the far side of the ground. Doreen's got a bit of work to make up the ball, and he does. Then uses a left leg, which is a horrible kick. Central take the ball away. Damien Hicks has got it. He uses his left leg. Goes inside. Slade now marks the ball. He's at half back for Centrals. On the far side of the ground, goes with a handball. Central now moving into attack, and that's much more organised than what we've seen from Norwood. Davey got the handball out for Norwood. Finally, then it was with McCormack. Slipped the handball across to Gallagher. He goes inside far too early. Central come away. McGowan inside half forward on the rebound, and the mark there taken by Sam McCardle, and he's only 40 metres out, and mistakes again from Norwood. They've really suffered from pressure and confidence.
Well, there's a siren that's blown, and it's McCardle with the ball. He didn't play on that side Mondays. He must have heard your words. Get within distance and go back and have a shot. As we said, the siren's gone to end the first quarter. And McCardle's got a shot after the siren here at the Norwood Oval, where it's been all Central Districts in this quarter. McCardle lining up. Ball kick from around about 45 metres, directly in front. The drop punt's on its way. The umpire is going to his right, but has he got it through? Yes, he has got it through for Central's 7th goal. No, he's missed it there. The umpire's...
he didn't do you any favours.
Anyway, 6 goals 4 here are Centrals. They lead at Norwood at 1 goal 3-9. Goal scorers in that quarter for Centrals. You had Scott Lee with 3, and then 1 to Bello. Huge range in the bottle shop. They have breakfast cooked every Saturday and Sunday mornings to go in there, have a home-cooked breakfast, and they'll certainly look after you. Will be the Torrens Arms Hotel and the Dave Benson Caravan Time Clock. Fantastic place to go and get a caravan.
Smithy's made some moves. He's pulled Warrior off, and also Adam Crouch has come off. So he's obviously not happy with the job that Crouch did on McGowan in that quarter.
He couldn't be that happy because, as we said, McGowan's had 10 possessions, 4 kicks and 6 handballs. And back to the start of the second quarter, where it is Norwood by Central's by 30 points, and your call is going to be Neil Cross.
Back in the middle of the ground, it looks like Doreen might be the one who's opposed to McGowan. The ball's an awkward bounce. Finally, it's Yeobury who knocks the ball forward for Norwood, so at least they're going the right way. Doreen runs onto the loose ball, open goal, and up behind. Shocker of a kick out of the middle.
And Crossy, ball ace is back on the ground after being carried off in the stretcher, so obviously those ribs or whatever it was can't have been too bad.
If you were his opponent, you'd want to test them pretty quick, though,
You'd want us to come up and say good afternoon very quickly.
Okay.
Wouldn't take me 2 minutes.
You would have done it for the bounce, Smithy.
The ball comes out. Yeobury gets front position from the kick in and attacks the player on the ground, and the umpire's called that too high. Yeobury disagrees. getting up to take the kick is Swatala. He had quite a few possessions in the first quarter too. Swatala at half-back looks into the centre of the ground, and he's had a lead there, and coming down was Geister from full-back. He's led Marsh to the ball, taken the ball. Geister now right in the centre of Norwood Oval. The Redlegs really, really struggling as they go forward. So Geister's taking the ball forward, and it's McGowan who's roved it well, and the chip came over, and the mark was taken. He tried to play on McArdle and was swapped. I can't believe he didn't decide to go back and take a kick. Finally, Norwood come loose. It's under all that, it was Kemp who's at the bottom of the pack as the ball came loose. As soon as he picked it up, he was set upon.
And as you would have thought that McArdle would have learnt from there, wouldn't you? That he would have, within 25 metres, 30 metres, would have gone back and had another shot?
Well, the young fella's, he's been in two minds on a couple of occasions. He mucked up the first one, then he actually took the second one where he had a shot for goal and missed. And on that occasion, you would have thought, son, inside 30, get a mark and stand there.
Just half a look it was, and then the umpire said, right, that's play on. So the balls from the bounce come down, and the umpire's found a free kick. It goes to McCormack for Norwood. He rode that tap, tried to burst through the pack, got one high, takes the ball, kicks it along the far side of the ground. Good 50-metre kick. Finally, it's come down. McGowan, I think it was, at the base of the pack. Handball finally comes across to Hopwood. He'll go into half-forward. Bit of a skyrocket, that one. It comes down to the ground, and roving at the front and centre was Joe Hicks. Drives it in long, looking for Mazurowski. He battles with Bassett. The ball comes to ground. Steinburner takes it. Hicks drops into the space 20, 30 metres from goal. He's met and tackled as he picks up the ball. That was Stephen Pitt from Norwood who took him to the ground. There will be a bounce.
TB, Norwood need to kick the first goal, don't they?
Oh, they do. Otherwise, I think their history, just the way they're playing, their disposals, letting them down something chronic at the moment.
Ball down and in dispute again. Finally, Norwood manages to work it away. It's Kemp on the left leg. Decides not to kick it. Now he's created even more pressure for Norwood. They managed to scramble the ball somehow outside 50. Coming across and meeting it strongly was Brenton Daniel for Centrals. He's dispossessed. It comes out to Crouch. Crouch moves around on his left leg for Norwood. Drives the ball forward. They're inside half forward now. Finally coming out, meeting it is Marsh, but no success at getting a handle on the ball. In fact, manages to secure a bounce for his side at centre half forward. So Norwood going into attack again, sloppy though. They're really suffering both a crisis of confidence and Centrals putting a lot of pressure on the ball.
Yeah, they're playing like a side that never played together before. That's what they're playing like. As down goes the Browns, Yerbury, Arnold the backhanded, right-handed tap straight underneath the pack of players though. They're diving on top of the footy, and the umpire will move in and bounce the ball right on the 50-metre arc. The attack is 50 metres.
Stevie, I went and saw the Scotch B-grade Amateur 2 final, and it looks a bit like that.
Well, yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's been a very lackadaisical effort by the legs at this point in time as the bounce is thumped on by Neil, taken here by Crouch. He gets a handball over to Doreen. Doreen just bombs the ball off the boot into the pocket. It nearly had a bounce on the full, but it bounces just inside the line. And that's what I'm exactly talking about, guys.
But even there, I mean, why wouldn't Crouch go direct to goal? I mean, why would he turn backwards and then put the pressure on the other player? He was 5 minutes in front.
If in doubt, you kick a drop punt, you keep it at the top of the screen, you kick it in the corridor, for God's sake.
Actually, I think it was Kemp, actually. But anyway, the ball taken off hands and kicked there for the Doggies by Daniel, I think it was, up towards the half-back. But the mark taken there by Taylor. He kicks it across, and Gallagher chips into the centre half-forward position and takes the mark. He plays on, goes for a long drop punt. Will it carry? Now it's going to lob in the square up. They fly off hand. The ball taken through for the minor score by McGowan. So the legs move along to 1 goal 5-11 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. They trail the Doggies who are 6-3-39. Once again, Damien Hicks to bring the ball back into play. Steinburner streams over. We've got Big Arnold out there, and he's led yards and metres in front of...
How could he get that far in front of his man?
Yerbury, well, he was a mile in front, wasn't he? There's the short pass on again to McGowan. McGowan's actually picked up a lot of possessions. He's killing them around the ground at the moment as Cotton and McGowan playing together. But I'll tell you what, he's giving Cotton the run around as McGowan. The kick in towards the centre taken by Slade. Dodges around and kicks a high ball towards Steinburner. Steinburner at the back didn't take advantage of that. Has backed the ball back into a pack of players. There's a player almost with his head pulled off. It might be Davey. And it was Todd Davey. And the umpire will move in and bounce the ball between centre and half forward for the legs. They're kicking to the northern end of the parade.
A lot of players around the fall of the ball there, DB.
There are. Just Norwood struggling to get system going at the moment. Down goes the bounce. Not a good bounce. In fact, a favourite will end up with McGowan. He fired the handball out to Steinburner. Cotton's out there with him, but Steinburner's pace to advantage, but he just couldn't pick up the footy and forced it over the boundary line for a throw-in on the outer side. True centre wing position. The Dave Benson Caravan time clock tells us we've played 5 minutes in the second quarter. And the doggies doing the better at the moment. The ball thrown in. Yerbury and Arnold taken by Doreen. Kicks around the body up towards half-forward. Beautifully taken by Ben Nelson, but he slipped at a vital stage. Allowed McGowan to go in. Going in there is Neil. He picked up the footy once again towards the boundary line for a throw-in on the right half-forward flank for the leg. They're just going in perhaps a little bit harder at the moment, but they just can't seem to pick up a clean possession. It's the boundary umpire about to throw it back into play. Arnold and Yerbury, they're going to do this all day. Yerbury with a left-handed tap them straight to Hopwood though. The kick off the left boot, beautifully taken by Tom Davey. He torpedoes one back in towards the pocket. Oh, back to back there, almost a mark by Marsh. He ducks ahead. The ball at the bottom of the pack. Marsh emerges with a footy, goes to ground once again. Nobody can get it out. Comes out now to Damien Hicks. He on the left boot goes short, and the mark's filled there. In fact, no, he got the handball over as he gives it there to Hopwood up towards the centre of the ground. Off hands though, the free kick has been paid against the legs, and the kick will be taken by Castley in the centre.
You can't return of the ball. I was going to say,
can't do that, son.
It was pretty ordinary, wasn't it? The return of the ball was 25 metres up and about 10 metres from actually getting to Castley on the full. So
now, if that's 25 metres, I will walk to China.
McCormack's dragged back to near the 50, and Castley turns and comes wide to Stevens, who's taking the mark right on the 50. So he's obviously going to kick from around about 55 metres from goal. And just nobody inside 50 for Centrals, it seems. There's a hell of a lot of Norwood players.
And he's going to struggle kicking anywhere near a Centrals play with those players spare, Crosby.
And based on the first quarter, you'd think he'd struggle for distance too. He gets it right up to the teeth of goal, 10 metres out. The punch comes out, and Kemp rows it for Norwood, kicks it out, and sure enough, he's found a Central player loose. The ball, the kick's astray from Centrals.
No, McCardle, wasn't it? Was it?
Sam
McCardle.
Far side of the ground, and he won't turn around to help us out anyway. So that leaves Centrals at 6-4-40. Norwood struggling, 1-5-11. The kick in now from Clements. He goes straight down the middle of the parade, and again McGowan ends up with it. Slick hand pass, good interchange of hand passes, ends with McCardle, and his chip pass finds Maziarowski, and I think actually it might be Tim Maziarowski's first kick.
It certainly is his first kick, and he's yet to score a goal for Central, so this is his first opportunity to kick a goal in league football.
But he's been giving them a good target down this mid-end. He's been moving pretty well, the young fella.
Yeah, we'll kick from 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. Getting very close to the man on the mark, and you can just about write that one down, one would suggest. And he has kicked his first goal in league football, has Tim Maziarowski. That takes Centrals to 7 goals, 4-46. They lead Norwood 1 goal, 5-11 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And we've played just 9 minutes on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock.
It was a good lead. He has presented himself quite well. He's given a contest, particularly for the first quarter, and he's found some space there, and it was a good kick, good mark, and he will remember that the rest of his life. First goal in senior footy.
Only 19 years old, played in his 16th game. He's kicked his first goal.
Ball back in the centre. Arnold and Yerbury. Arnold the tap, Cotton first there, dives on the foot. He couldn't get the free kick because the central player leapt into the air and took him high around the shoulder area. So Cotton now onto the left, but have a look at that kick off the boot. It's an absolute shocker. Unlocked with Hopwood across half-back. They're disposed and cleared ink, and there must be something wrong with their boots as the ball is kicked out to Castley. Castley now centre wing, dodges around Gallagher, goes short. He's looking there for his teammate in Hicks. Not Hicks, Lee, I should say, and McCormack tipping in, intercepts and takes the mark. That's another poor kick off the boot. What is happening here? The ball, then Nelson tapped it down. Borlase had it. The handball came out, but no one can take it. In comes Stevens for the Dogs. Got a hurried handball out to Bellow. Bellow in turn to Catley. Catley on board now to Slade. The Dogs are doing it easily, but the kick's not good. It's going to lob with McCormack. He can't hold the mark. Maziarowski on the Lee. Lee the left foot. Bang! Straight through the high middle, and that's number 4 for Scotty Lee. And at the moment, we're looking at an absolute whitewash as the Doggies march away here at the parade. They go along to 8 goals, 452 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, and Norwood won 5-11.
I'll tell you what, Norwood have got to go in at half-time and have a dead set good look at themselves. They are an absolute disgrace. Centrals, on the other hand, are playing very well, led by McGowan in the pivot. He is actually having a picnic this afternoon. Cassidy's also playing very well. Got the ball out wide, kicked to the top of the square. Ball was spoiled. Scotty Lee, the old fella there, took the ball as a crumb, ran on the left foot. Great goal.
I tell you what, we sort of seem to be saying about how badly Norwood are playing. Maybe Centrals are playing a lot better than what we're just giving them credit for.
Well, 6 of one, half a dozen the other, I think, as the ball's taken by Scotty. Ball lays the hurried kick. Once again, an awkward kick off the boot. Taken off hand by Daniel. Daniel will relieve the pressure and does it easily. What's more, he looks for Hopwood. Hopwood there also, Davey. Davey taken high, according to the umpire. And probably wasn't much in that because he did duck the head as the handball comes out to McCormick. He's going to get caught. Gets the handball away, though. Luckily, he's a pretty long handball because it comes to Cotton. His kick is smothered. I just can't seem to get a clean and accurate kick away as the ball is picked up by Hereda. Hereda to Bello. There's a free kick being paid back behind the play. We've got Holmes and also a player on the ground, a Norwood player. Right. It's Bowman, I think, isn't it? And Bowman will take the kick. The umpire has paid the free kick.
Hang on. Holmes actually touching the umpire there, which is very, very dangerous stuff.
Yes, a good point there, Smitty, is the kick now. They want to go on with it, Holman. And there's a big mark up at centre-half forward to... who is that player? Is it Pitt?
Bowman, I think you'll find.
No, Bowman's here.
Oh, no, it's not Bowman. You're right.
It is Pitt.
Definitely Pitt.
So Stephen Pitt must be in the forward line now after starting off in defence. Has taken a grab at centre-half forward, and to say that Norwood need this undies would be the understatement of the year thus far.
Yeah, look, I don't know why Holmes did what he did. They had the play, they had the footy. Why would you go and do something stupid like that and turn the ball over, Smithy?
Well, Pitt's going to line up 20 metres out, directly in front, and you'll never guess it. Off the side of the boot and through for a point. DB, the skills are absolutely shocking.
Well, they just can't even drop the ball on the boot properly, Crossy, can they? The kicks are coming off the side.
Well, that takes the score. Norwood 1 goal 6-12. They trail Centrals 8 goals 4-52 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
The ball back into play, and it's been marked maybe 30 metres from goal by Geister. He'll come to the Wood Street side of the ground, the western side. The ball punched away and to ground in dispute. Finally, it's Borlace gets the ball. A quick hand pass to Gallagher. He'll put the ball, pump it inside 50, looking for Pascoe. Pushes his man aside. Finally takes possession of the ball and breaks clear. Gets the hand pass out to Kemp. It was loose, though. It gave McGowan the chance. He intercepted. Gave it to Steinberner, who now is on the left leg. Goes wide. Good kick. And finds out there. I think it might be Daniel who's running loose over there. He goes short, further on the wing, and finds Arnold. The big ruckman pulls the ball in one-handed, then is tackled, manages to get a hand pass to Steinberner, who'd backed up well. Steinberner's kick's a scrubby one. It's picked up by Norwood. Norwood now, that looked like a throw, and the umpires called it that. The arm was just pinned, and that was Crouch out there, I think, and his arm, in fact, it was Clements. His arm was just pinned, and he ended up a one-handed throw.
Norwood have just made a change. Robert Neal is off, and Dale Fleming has just come on.
Norwood's leading goal kicker now off the ground, a measure of just how poor their disposal's been inside 50. And just as we mentioned that, Central, poor disposal to kick into 50. Norwood take possession. Finally, it's come back to McCormack. He drives the ball long, and Casserly, who's had a field day of picking up these loose kicks, takes the mark on centre wing for Central, runs around the mark. He's well shepherded by Daniel, kicks the ball inside 50 over the head of Arnold. Pitt manages to bring the ball to ground. It's finally forced clear, and Fleming gets a hand pass out. Cotton takes it. He's on the wing, runs forward, just about run down, kicks the ball inside 50. Norwood take possession. Borlace has got it. He'll line up from outside 50. Borlace goes long and kicks a goal. And a belated one for Norwood, or a much-needed one for Norwood. And that takes them to 2-6-12. Central's 8-4-52. And we'll go around the grounds, courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company.
Yes, thanks very much. It's Sturt 11-3-69, leading Glenelg 3-5-23. West 10-1-61, lead North 4-4-28. And South 5-7-37, lead the Eagles 5-2-32. Back to the parade.
Scotty Borlace's first goal, and that certainly is a contender for the Captain Snooze goal of the day.
And let's hope it can put some fire back into the red leg. The ball taken by Doreen, the left footer, up towards half forward Pitt. He's got a wonderful pair of hands, is Stephen Pitt, and he was in front of the pack that time, and he's marked the ball right on the 50 and will have a pot shot at goal. And one would hope, Andy, that he learned from the last kick he had at their goal.
Exactly right, and Scotty Doreen came straight up to him, basically said, settle down, son, go back and settle, kick the goal.
That's what he's got to do. They've got to put a run on here, Norwood. They've only kicked 2 goals for the game so far, and we've played 17 minutes on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock. Stephen Pitt comes in. Will kick from right on 50 metres. It's a long drop punt going to the northern end. It looks good off the boot. That's their third. They go to 3 goals, 6-18. They lead Central's 8 goals, 4-52. And it's amazing how quickly a game can turn when you get 2 quick goals like that. All of a sudden your confidence starts to lift. Players start playing in front. And now Central's have got to actually ask and see if they can stand up to it.
A good mark and a good goal, and I don't know whether you agree with me or not, but I think the game's changed since Holm did that stupid thing and gave that ridiculous free kick away.
Well, they
had the ball, they were running down, the undisciplined error, and suddenly Norwood have got a little bit of a run on. They want to get another couple of goals to make this game interesting.
Yeah, good point. The pendulum has certainly swung, well, for the time being anyway. Paul Eight bounces on the ball again. The handball to Davey at centre wing. Davey doesn't look, fires a torpedo up to the half-forward flank and in front of the mark taken by Taylor. That's a good mark. Got a shove in the hammer and tack for his measure and crashed into the fence
and you would know he's crashed into the cattle crash repairs. He might need a few repairs himself.
The umpire played the 50 Crossy. You had to expect from that, mate. So it was an afterthought, was it? Or
it was. He came in, had a chat, then decided, oh yeah, that's good enough, and takes him back 50. So quite a penalty that one. He obviously thought it was a little bit more than a shove, and well, Daniel gets taken back 50 metres.
It's amazing, isn't it? I reckon if he'd have got straight up and went back and had his 50, it wouldn't have been a 50.
That's right.
Well, the other thing, we are a long way from that, but from what we can see from here, there wasn't too much in it. There was a big crash, a big bang, but then they were both going to the ball.
Yeah, but the umpire initially didn't indicate the 50 was there.
No, unless the Central's player perhaps said something to him, but you wouldn't think that's the case.
Well, it's only 25 anyway. Well, Brett Taylor's got the ball. He's going to be kicking from 15 metres out to the northern end. Could he put Norwood's third goal on in about 5 minutes? And it's gone straight through. So Brett Taylor's kicking his first and Norwood's fourth goal in the space of about 5 minutes. And the Norwood players coming around and congratulating each other. 4 goals, 6-30. They trail Central's 8 goals, 4-52. And courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company, will go around the grounds.
Western Bulldogs 8-6-54 lead Port 5-7-37. Brisbane 10-9-69 lead Collingwood 3-3-21. And Melbourne 12-5-77 lead Essendon 10-7-67. Back to Norwood.
Yeah, back here at the parade and just having a few words to say as there's a bit going on over there inside the 50, Crossy. You've got the glasses on it, mate. What was happening?
The same two involved in that goal, actually. Taylor and Daniel just having a couple of words to each other. In fact, now...
Taylor's come off.
Looks like he's split the webbing in his hand.
Yeah, looks like he's split the webbing.
Got a bit of, fair bit of blood coming off. But this Norwood are one of the sides in the competition. You do not want to let them get a run on. They get their tail up, and at the parade with his crowd, anything could happen.
Yeah, good point. As the ball taken by Hopwood, ducked ahead. And what's happened here, the umpire said the ball was held to him, and there'll be a bounce down. So just at the moment, not only are the player, well, up until about 10 minutes, the Norwood players were getting it wrong, but I've got a funny feeling the umps have fallen into the same error at the moment. As the ball taken by Yerbury to handball, up to half forward. Good use of the body by Swatala. He was hung on to. The ball forced free again. Swatala's in there. Here's a chance out for Crouch. Crouch emerges with the foot. He gets the kick away. He's buried after he kicks the ball up towards half forward, and Daniel, a good mark against Warrior. No, it was called play on. It came out to Joseph Hicks. He gives it away, ain't heavy, and that's his brother Damien Hicks at half back. He bangs it towards centre wing. It's all the doggies here, taken by Hopwood. Hopwood's got McGowan. I tell you what, he's killing the McGowan. The big handball back to Hopwood. Also there, Stephen. He allows the Hopwood to take the foot. He then goes short to Mazarout. You're just the half volley. Couldn't quite get to it. Davies picked it up. The ball and ground taken by Stephen. The high kick towards full forward. One-on-one back there. Bowman in front. The ball over the back, and it's through for the minus score to the doggies. 8 goal 5-53 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Norwood have come back a little bit. 4-6-30.
Good call, DB, but that's the first foray into their forward line since that free kick from home some 7 or 8 minutes ago.
The kick out, and the umpire said Clements ran over the mark, and it's a very faint mark there. The umpire says, I've got good eyes, son. That's why I've got the whistle. And there might be a few supporters telling him where to stick that whistle.
and Clements is remonstrating, but he's basically saying my foot was there. But how can he say his foot was there if he was kicking the ball? He should be looking where he was kicking the ball, not where his foot was.
Again, good point, Andy. As the umpire went out, bounced the ball right on the 10-metre area.
We just started time on DB on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock.
So this could be a vital bounce down. as it goes down. Yeobury and Arnold. Yeobury tapped it straight down. A chance here for McGowan. The handball out here. The kick around the body by McArdle in towards full forward. Pumped through though by the Norwood defence for the minor score. And that was the only thing they really could do under the circumstances. As Kemp, Taylor, he's got the left knee very heavily bandaged, and he's leaving the arena as the ball is kicked out here to the half-back, and that's not very good because it was 1-on-3. The ball bounced down. Chance for McArdle. McArdle's got it. He goes in short. Not a good kick, but the Norwood player slipped over, and that was a vital slip because the mark has been taken. And there's a Hotwood has absolutely flattened McCormack, but once upon a time, if you did that, they turned the ball over. And now Holm is in there arguing with the umpire, and just get on with the game, boys. That's all you got to do. And Matthew Slade will line up, and this is a very important shot at goal.
Yeah,
good courage, Smithy, wasn't it?
Yeah, great courage there by Slade. He had 4 players running at him, stood up to it, took a good mark, and now is having a chance of a goal from about 48 metres, 45-degree angle. Southern end, and he comes in and he's forced it too far, he's hooked it, and it's gone through for a point, and that takes now Norwood Central's throw to 8 goals 7.55. They lead Norwood 4 goals 6.30, and Centrals have somewhat steadied the ship here, and that was on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Just a bit beyond his distance there.
Yep.
And just forced the ball out to his left.
So if that was your kick, you would have gone straight through the high diddle son on that left foot of yours?
Yeah, on my day.
You cheat and Winkman always run down from the wing.
Bassett's got the ball for Norwood, has a look around, assesses the options, and he's coming out here looking for Pascoe, who's going to take the ball. Shocker over the back. That was Yeobury, in fact, and it hasn't been touched. Completely misjudged it. Lee's got the kick, chips it inside 50, and the ball there nicely taken by Hopwood. So Hopwood, 45 metres from goal. Mistakes galore in this match from Norwood. So Hopwood puts the ball to the top of the square. He's looking for Arnold. The ball comes down. Kemp's there, immediately tackled, and ball in dispute. Umpire calls for it.
Surprising there, DB, that Hopwood was only 45 metres out. Probably should have gone back and had a shot.
Well, he probably didn't think he could kick it from the pocket.
Ball down, and Arnold goes at it with Yeobury. Arnold comes away with it, and Clements tackles him. Could have easily been pinched for holding the ball.
Ooh,
and there's all sorts of things going on in there. Clements and Arnold sort of pick each other up.
I was going to say, for our listeners, just think that Gary McIntosh would have been like to be in there, so that'll give you an idea what it was like.
Yes. And Scott Bassett, who's not what you would say the fieriest of players, just warned there by the umpire. The ball goes down. Another clash of bodies. It comes back to Fleming, gets his foot to the ball very badly. It ends up with Davey. He tries to push off an opponent, does so. Then gets a slick hand pass across to Bowman, who's now in space, and he kicks it down to the wing. He's looking for nice mark, and he was just, that was Fleming, Pitt, sorry, just got the better of Damien Hicks. Pitt now looks into half forward, and the lead comes down from Wilson, and it's gone over the back, and Bello picks it up for Centrals, swings around to the left leg, finds the player in Joe Hicks wide. Hicks goes with a hand pass to Steinburner. He chips it further forward. Out there on the wing, it's McGowan. Position number probably 17 or 18, and a lovely kick out in front of Maziarowski on the lead. Strong hands in front.
Yeah, great kick there by McGowan, and Maziarowski, good take too in the front of his eyes. Put the big fingers up there undies and took it.
He leads very well for a young boy, doesn't he? He presents himself, and he has a dip and he flies at the ball. Well, he's a good young prospect.
Right, kicking on the outer side of the ground, a very acute angle. Will kick from around about 55 metres.
No chance, Darryl.
No chance. He's only kicked 1 goal in his career.
Put it down if Bundy said it, no chance.
He's on the right side, big right foot kick. It's going to lob right at the point of the square, and there's any number of players up. Can we get a mark here? No, we can't. It comes to ground. Bellows in front of the pack. He can't take it, but it's come to the player there inside. Is it? No, he's stuck his head. It's been tackled by the Norwood player, but the umpire's come up and it's going to bounce the ball.
That is holding the onion.
And if you could hear the thumping in the actual...
That is holding the onion.
That's Gary McIntosh going off his tree.
He ducked the chutney and got caught holding a football.
No question of that.
Yeah, no argument with me. That was holding the ball. He just stood there, ducked the head, did make no attempt to get rid of the footy. And the umpire, that's the easy way out. So he's going to bounce it. 10.5 balls to the Dogs. Down it goes. McArdle attempted to take it and was taken there by Gallagher. Gallagher's kicked towards centre wing. Oh, there's a player being held on to. He had one arm being held on me right in front of the umber. He didn't want to do anything about it. It came out here to Kemp. Kemp ended up handballing it and gave it to Doreen. There's got to be something wrong with Doreen's foot because it's a shocking kick as the ball comes out the half-back. Steinberner's out there. Also with him there is Dawes. Steinberner's pace. He got away, but then was grabbed as it comes. Here's a chance for Kemp now. He's picked up the ball. He'll go short. Looking there for his teammate in Wilson. Ended up coming to Warrior. Warrior got it over to Dawes. Dawes, here's a chance for ball. He's made his commitment on the footy. And the umpire played it the other way. Gee whiz, I don't know what's happening here, but the umpires, I think, have got it wrong. Majersley overruns the footy. Here's the chance for McCardle. He gets the handball over the top now to Arnold. Arnold went to face the handball. Dodges one way, then loses the footy. Well done, young Gallagher. He gets met high. The ball to him, and there'll be a bounce down at centre. And talk about errors. There's errors left, right, and centre being happening here at the Norwood Oval.
DB, last time I checked, Pasco's about 6'6". Why would you not kick the ball down to that boy one-on-one and give him at least a chance to get onto the footy?
Yeah, good point. Down goes the bounce. Yerbury and Arnold playing that high, and this time the free kick will be paid to Gallagher. And I'll tell you one thing, young Gallagher's got. He's got plenty of intestinal fortitude.
Well, that's about 5 minutes too late for mine. Should have got it ages ago.
There's the kick now. Looking there for Wilson. Makes front position, Ben Wilson. Then gives the handball over to Dawes. Dawes with the left footer. He's looking for Pitt. Pitt won't drop this. It's not Pitt, it's Marsh, in fact. And Big Ben Marsh takes the mark. And will line up for goal. And I'll tell you what, we said the kick at goal at the other end was important. Smitty, this is very important, almost on the siren for half-time.
Probably the best bit of play we've seen Norwood using the ball. Their skill level was far better, and we did see that the leading player there in Jason Marsh take a good, strong mark. And as you said, it's a very important kick for Norwood. They trail at the moment by 25 points. They want to go in at half-time a little bit closer than that. Marsh coming in, right foot kick, and has he got it to come around? He has. That's Norwood's 5th goal. They go to 5 goals, 6-36. They trail Central's 8 goals, 7-35, 19 points behind at the moment. And courtesy of the great Southern Pie Company will go around the grounds.
Western Bulldogs 12-6-78, lead Port 6-8-44. Brisbane 10-9-69, lead Collingwood 3-3-21. Melbourne 12-5-77, lead Essendon 11-9-75. South 6-8-44, lead the Eagles 6-3-39. And West 10-2-62, lead North 8-5-53. Back to Norwood.
Yerbury and Arnold, they're just going to do this all day. Back in the middle of the ground. Beautiful bounce. Yerbury gets the better of the tap. Warrior runs onto it, a quick snap into half forward. Switala's on the end of it for Centrals. So Switala has the ball and half back. Chips it wide, looking for and finding lead of Hopwood. So
Hasn't been the worst player crossing?
No, he's been pretty good, and they've slowed the play down a bit. So a few wiser heads out there, perhaps. Kicks the ball in, nice mark by Arnold. Good stretch.
He's playing well, isn't he, Arnold?
He's had a purple patch of form the last few weeks. Sweeps the handball wide. Put his player under a bit of pressure, but he was good enough. Finally, it's come to Steinberner at 55 metres. The ball smothered off the boot. Nicely done. The ball comes loose for Norwood. It's Gallagher who's got it. Gallagher looks for the hand pass. Goes to Warrior. Warrior looks further wide. Decides in the end. He decides nothing, and he just wobbles the ball off the boot. Central take the ball again, and it's Switala, and a lovely kick by Switala finds McGowan on the lead. Gee, they really mucked that up.
Classical case there's Crossy of a player just trying to do too much, and really all he had to do was just keep it simple and get it down as quickly as he could.
Well, the other thing, what's wrong with handballing to your teammate standing by yourself?
Exactly.
Just couldn't make up his mind what he wanted to do in the end. So the ball is out of bounds, half forward for Centrals, and there is the siren. So at half-time, Norwood have made a bit of a comeback. Central still leading, and the score on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, Centrals 8-7-55, leading Norwood 5-6-36.
And goal scorers in that quarter for Norwood, you had Stephen Pitt with 1, Jason Marsh with 1, Brad Taylor with 1, and Scotty Borlace has 1. And in the first quarter, Andrew Pascoe kicked their solitary goal. For the Central side, in that quarter, you had Tim Mazarowski with his first goal in league football, so well done to Tim. He kicking 1, and Scotty Lee adding 1 to his total of 4. And other goal scorers for Centrals were Marco Bello in the first quarter with 1, Holm with 1, and Nathan Steinberner. Here at half-time, it is Centrals 8 goals, 7-55. They lead Norwood 5 goals, 6-36. That's a 19-point margin at this stage to the Central side. They did lead by 30 points at quarter-time. They do lead by 19 points at half-time. And courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company, we'll go around the grounds and we will have a check of all scores. And just before...
And you're listening to 5RPH, 11:97 AM, coming up to 28 minutes to 4.
They had a quick run around. They all went to Norwood Centre forward to the southern end and basically had a chat there. And while Centrals, they're out of position waiting for them. Come on, boys, let's get out of here. We want you to go.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? I mean, that Norwood hadn't been playing good football in the first half, and there was only the latter part of that second quarter they got themselves back into the game. But gee whiz, they need to do something in the second half to...
Well, he's made some more changes. Neil off, Crouch off.
Yep. All right, this is the 5RPH's game today. Central Districts 8 goals, 755. They lead Norwood 5 goals, 636. And we're just about to get underway in the second half of the game here, and your caller's going to be Dennis Brown.
Yeah, thank you, Smitty. I'm a little bit surprised that Adam Crouch is off the ground because he was one player that certainly was hard at the ball, but obviously Peter Rose has his reasons. Down goes the bounce, and Scotty Doreen was in there for the first bounce, but Bello picked up the ball and kicked it to half. Bowman dropped an absolute hitter. It comes to Dawes. Dawes gives it over to Fleming. Fleming drives the Redlegs up towards 10.5 forward. In front, Joseph Hicks. Out the back, it comes to Harada. He gets a handball over to Damien Hicks. He goes in short, finds Hopwood. Hopwood now will swing onto the left boot, centres the ball, and look at Big Arnold. He's all by himself. He's got it in the centre now. He goes onto the right boot and kicks it, but it comes off the side of the boot, and out in front it's Clement. He can't hold the ball. In fact, it was touched off the boot. According to the umpire, the handball comes back out here. In goes the player for Central Districts, and he's been grabbed high according to the umpire. And that's one thing we didn't get was the free kicks on the stats, and the kick now to be taken by McGowan just outside the attacking 50 for the Doggies. And a goal here would be very important to the Dogs as McGowan goes in short. He's a beautiful kick, and have a look at this with you. There's a player all by himself, and that player is Slade, and Matthew Slade will line up the goal, and he's only about 40 metres out.
How the devil did he get 20 metres by himself? We know he's only a little bloke, but he's still got got 17 other teammates out there. But he lines up 30 metres out directly in front. Distance won't be a problem. Accuracy shouldn't be a problem, but he's botched it up. He's pushed it way to the right. Registers one behinds on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. It takes Centrals to 8 goals, 856, leading Norwood 5 goals, 636. That was the goal they needed, DB.
They certainly did, and Crossy just pulled some stats out of his pocket. He's an amazing man, as Neil Crossy's come up with the fact that Centrals have had 7 free kicks thus far and Norwood 4. It just seems a lot more, doesn't it?
Certainly
anyway,
does.
The kick now from Fleming. No, Clements it was, back up toward 10.5 forward, off hands, the ball taken by McCormick. He went to handball. It was the worst handball you've ever seen, but luckily for the legs, it ends up now with Kemp. Kemp drives the ball back up towards the centre of the ground. Up they fly. Pitt came flying through the pack. Got the handball out to the centre of the ground. Taken there by Cotton. Cotton on the left boot up towards half forward. March in front of the back to Damien Hicks. Geister's there with Big Panko. The ball bounces nicely for Geister. He gives the handball now to Hicks. The whistle's gone. Not too sure what for as the ball is kicked out towards half back. And umpire, I could hear the whistle going, and I wasn't sure what was happening, but he paid the advantage. As a kick now from Steinburner has found Bello. Bello will get on to Steinburner. You could tell that was going to happen. They telegraphed it as now Steinburner kicks the ball towards half forward. Oh, there's a player being hung onto there for the Dogs in Holmes. The umpire says play on as Davey flicks it back. It ends up with Holmes. He's pushed out of the contest. McGowan tries to tap it on. He's got possession again. McGowan goes to ground the ball underneath, and the umpire trying to shield the sun out of his eyes, so he really couldn't see what was going on. And we'll have a bounce down at half forward on the grandstand side for the Doggies. So played 2.5 minutes on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock as the ball goes down for this, the third quarter. The ball tapped out by Arnold. He gives it to McGowan. McGowan's handball is wide of Hopwood. Hopwood got the ball, then handball back out to Swatala. Swatala kicks it into the centre, and Cashley chips in to take the mark. Cashley now, he gets a long handball back into the centre, taken by Joseph Hicks. Hicks goes short. He's looking for Maserati. In fact, Mazarowski. Maserati's a car, of course, but he ran like a car. Picked up now by McCardle, and McCardle's kick from about 40 metres, 30 metres out, has gone off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the John Ball.
Isn't he having a day and a half, McCardle? I mean, the misses that he's missed a couple of times, he's got within 25, 30 metres and has just absolutely let himself down.
And Big Bowman in trouble there, is he, Crossy?
Yeah, he just came away from Maziarowski, and in fact, on the far side of the ground, as we say that, the ball has gone out in the floor. Another shocking disposal. I think it was Cotton that time. But Bowman's picked himself up, but he looked worse for the wear, and looked like he might have hurt his knee in that clash, in that marking collision with Maziarowski. So Central's with the free kick, and the ball's pumped in long, and looking for the big, and the flyer, believe it or not, was Scotty Lee. Who would have thought he could get up that high? It's come loose, and McCormack pumps it outside 50. That's only come so far as a Central's player, just unidentified at this stage. It was Stevens, Michael Stevens.
Well, he's put it through for a point, and he now takes Centrals to 8 goals, 9, 57 to, they lead Norwood 5 goals, 6-36 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Norwood going long back into play. Ball to ground. Hicks was the puncher. It's come to Hopwood. He's lost it. It's still in dispute. Body's going everywhere. Finally, Dawes gets it. Well, that was... He got clean possession and then a poor hand pass. Arnold takes possession, handballs it out. It ends with Stevens on the far side of the ground. He pushes off one for the Centrals going long now to full forward. Stevens offline. No.
Hit the post.
Well, he was sort of offline.
He was, and that now takes Centrals to 8 goals, 10-57. They lead Norwood 5 goals, 6-36, and we've played 6 minutes on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock.
Yeah, and some important misses here as far as the doggies are concerned. They've had about 3 or 4 pot shots at goal as the handball comes out from that kick out to Lee. Lee will go short. Look, there's 3 Bulldogs across the half-forward line.
Hang on,
one of those there to take the mark is McArdle.
Just settle down this time, son.
McArdle has had quite a few pot shots at goal. This time he's right in front. Yet to kick a sausage roll for the doggies, but the golden opportunity here. And this is a very important goal to start this third quarter. If he can direct the ball through the tall uprights, goes with the drop punt, the ball's going on. It's not a bad looking kick. In fact, it's gone through for a goal to the doggies. They're 9 goals, 10-64 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Norwood a 5-6-36 and a very important start for the Dogs.
Great kick there by McArdle. Wanted an uneasy drop, took back. It was a kick from outside 50, went to the northern end. No wind to talk about, but leaned back and put it straight through the middle, and a very, very important goal for Centrals.
Well, it certainly was, Smithy. He would have actually been standing over that ball, and his confidence wouldn't have been all that high because he's had a checkered game. But I thought it was actually a pretty poor effort by Bowman and also another Norwood player to be, because he just got through and Holm was standing flat-footed to shepherd it out. They really almost could have got another hand on that ball.
Right, bounce down in the centre again. Yerbury and also Arnold. Taken by Yerbury. Gave the handball there over to Gallagher. Gallagher's hurried kick taken by Dawes. Bellows in there. He emerges with the footy onto the left boot. Kicks it towards centre half forward. The ball will bounce into the open spaces. Fleming's there with Holm. The ball bounces awkwardly for him. Bowman tries to kick it off the ground. That was a real airy-fairy type of effort as the ball is taken there for Norwood by McCormack. He can't go anywhere because there's Bulldogs everywhere, and the umpire moves in to bounce the ball just outside the attacking 50 for the Dogs. And that ball, if Bowman had connected with it, would have gone out of bounds on the John ball for sure and certain in the grandstand somewhere. That was a pretty strange sort of effort from the big cap. Down goes the bounce. Yerbury and Arnold. Arnold, no one can get a decisive tap. Comes to Clements. He's grabbed by Scotty Lee. And the umpire said we'll bounce it down again. And Clements not happy with the attention he was receiving from Scotty Lee.
Not a lot of action, is there, DB, at this stage?
No. Certainly not. The umpire will bounce it again just outside the attacking 50 for the Dogs. They're kicking to the northern end. Down goes the bounce. Yerbury got it straight to McGowan. He's cutting them to pieces. McGowan got the handball to Slade. Slade up towards full forward. Meserati was in front. The handball comes out. Here's a chance, a golden opportunity. Catley, he only had to get it over. He couldn't get it over. The ball at the bottom of the pack. Tapped down. A chance never. Handball to Bello. Bello will kick a goal around the body of the left boot. And I would say that's nearly curtains for the legs. The second goal to Bello. And the Doggies have started off this third quarter where they left off in the first quarter. They move along to 10 goals, 10. That's 72. They lead the legs 5-6-36.
And courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company, will get scores from around the grounds.
Western Bulldogs 29-129, leading Port 9-11-65. West Adelaide 13-2-80, lead North 8-5-53. South 6-12-48, lead the Eagles 6-6-42. And Melbourne 15-7-97, lead Essendon 13-14-92. Back to Norwood.
10-10-70 plays 5-6-36. Norwood in a bit of trouble, and they are again as Steinberner takes the ball, motors around, receives a hand pass in return from Hopwood, and then it's chipped out wide. And taking the mark out there, Sam McArdle. He's had a battle with Bowman, and I think he's had the better of it too, the young lad. Puts it into centre half forward, looking for Mazurowski. Looked like he got a push, but Scott Bassett took the mark. Got away with it, and his kick was poor, but it's found Crouch, who's just walked back onto the ground. So he breaks off the left leg, shocking kick yet again. The possession is awful. Ball Ace, though, is able to run onto it. He's being chased by Bello. He gets onto his left leg, gets the ball forward, and he finds Doreen. He goes inside half forward. Much better on the lead was Marsh, and he will take a shot from maybe 40, 45 metres out.
Yeah, directly in front, kicking to the southern end. Conditions shouldn't, the wind should have no bearing on the kick. Distance might not be a problem. It's just a matter of accuracy now. To say Norwood need this is a real understatement, DB.
Not wrong.
Well, he comes in, Marsh, lines up. It's absolutely shocking kick, and it's, could you believe it? It is bounced inside the boundary line, in front of the players' race at the southern end, and has bounced out of bounds, and there'll be a throw-in. Undies.
Yeah, look, it was terrible, but look, I noticed the last goal of the kick from the other end, he did only take one step and kick, and on that occasion, again, off one step, kick, you really can't get any good leverage on the ball without having a reasonable run-up.
Right off the bat to the pack, taken by Borlase. Borlase kick around the body. The left footer is going to lob in the square. Up they fly. In there was the big Marsh. Off hands a chance now for Doreen. Doreen forces the ball towards the boundary line and a throw in the left full forward pocket.
Just, DB, where we're sitting, we can sort of look into the coach's box of Norwood. You can see players of the calibre of McIntosh and Ace both sitting there scratching their heads.
Well, I can understand why. You've seen what's happened here this afternoon as the ball is thrown in. The ball tapped by Geister. Chance now for Hopwood. Hopwood, who's played a pretty fair game for the dog. He kicks it to half back. Cotton got high. The umpire's paid the free kick to Big Arnold. He could have paid the advantage. In fact, he has now. But, gee, that was a very belated effort. He put Central Districts right under the hammer. Luckily for them, the ball squirts out the back.
True.
And what's happened here, a free kick has been found in the centre of the ground. Going to go the way of Stephen Pitt for Norwood. I thought that was poor umpiring then.
Yeah,
as the kick
Norwood.
Now from Pitt up inside the attacking 50. Oh, the player pushed out with sheer strength. Big Pascoe got rid of Geister, and Pascoe's ended up with a footy, and he'll the big left footer will have a shot from about 47.5 metres, Undy.
Well, let's see if he can kick this one. The last one was an absolute disgrace. Didn't make the distance. Bounced.
This is Pascoe.
Oh, this is Pascoe. Sorry, I said I lied.
Yeah, Marsh was the last one, Smithy.
Yep. Pascoe's kicked one so far in the first quarter. Haven't sighted much of him since.
Well, he might struggle. He's certainly giving more of a run-up than his teammate in Marsh, but distance could test him, Darryl.
No,
He'll kick the distance,
he's
I
a
think.
booming kick is Pascoe.
Yeah. He'll kick from just outside 50. Left foot drop punt. It certainly looks like it's got the distance, has it? And it has been punched back into play, and the quick player there from the Norwood has been tackled by Bello, and there's going to be a bounce up right in front of the goal square, so he didn't make the distance under. He's well called.
Well called. There's obviously a breeze out there. That ball held up badly, I know.
Yes, well, it's going to be a bounce up right in the goal square, 2 metres out from the Norwood end.
Yeah, the ball bounced right in the square virtually. Down it goes. Yerbury's there with Arnold. Arnold tapped it down, taken by Borlase. He's tackled the player, hit the boundary post and the behind post, and in fact the ball is hit it as well. So we'll have a throw in that left full forward pocket, and players a little bit slow to get up. So a little bit happening inside the pack. So I would say, Crossy, you've got the glasses on it there.
Borlase is scratching his head, and I think that might be because his head was the thing that hit the behind post in the end.
And not the ball.
Okay, the boundary's throwing once again. Yerbury and Arnold, the ball into a pack of players bursting through. There was the player there for Norwood, came out to Wilson. Wilson gave it to Dawes. Dawes to Pascoe. Pascoe, a left foot now, going to be marked. No ball. Player pushed away from the 40. That's got to be a free kick umpire. You can't do that as the ball is handballed out to Holm. Holm gives it out here to Hicks. Damien Hicks goes short to Steinburner, and Steinburner drops the mark. The umpire says play on. The ball has come down to Hicks. Hicks got a handball to Holm, but it was too close to him. Chance now for the Dogs. They're taken the ball out towards centre wing. The umpire said it was thrown away by Slade. Or Daniel, it might have been, but one of the two. And the kick now taken by Dawes for the legs. Have a look at the kick, will you? It's a shocker. Up into towards the attacking 50, taken beautifully by Bello, and Bello has a bounce. Will he have two? He's had two bounces. He'll get the handball out wide. He's got his teammate there and Stephen. Stephen pounces on the footy. He's got time to steady. Now he dodges around, gets the handball back to Bello. Beautiful running by Marco Bello, as Bello puts it on the right boot, and that's a beautiful kick off the boot, up towards full forward, off hand. Chance now for the leg. Through comes McCormack. Handball is good to Bassett. Bassett clears now for the leg. Back here towards centre wing, and big Ben Wilson's all by himself for the leg. He has a bounce. He's going to get run down, but got the kick just in time. Up in towards full forward. Pitch in front almost to one hand of the ball off hand. A chance there now, tapped on by Daniel. Kicked off the ground by Arnold. Players diving in over the top of the footy, and we'll have a bounce down in the attacking 50, about 25 metres from the Norwood goal.
We've played 10 minutes into the third quarter here at the parade, courtesy of Dave Vincent Caravans, and on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, it's 10-10 Centrals. They lead Norwood 5-6.
And that's the most organised passage of play from one end to the other and back again. It was just, it was good to watch. It's probably the best passage we've seen today. Norwood swooping on the loose ball from the ruck. It was Gallagher, centres it. Mark almost taken by Marsh, bullocks his way to the front. Dawes now at the snap, over the left shoulder, in fact, goal. And that is close to the Captain Snooze goal of the day. Looking at the scoreboard now, that brings Norwood up to 7-6, 42. Central still in front, 10-10, 70.
And Artie, that might be just the spark that might ignite Norwood to get them to have a little bit of a run on.
Well, let's hope, and let's hope that they do have a little bit more better effort at the footy, because this quarter their skills have been absolutely woeful, Smitty. But that was good skills by the young player indoors.
Yep, certainly.
He's only 19 years old, and his first goal in league footy. Good luck to that, and it was a real contender for the captain's first goal of the day.
You reckon it might open some doors for Norwood, do you? As the bounce goes down, Every got the tap out to Warrior, taken by the player there in Kemp up towards half forward, picked up now by Paul Ace. He couldn't get the handball away. Steinburner comes through. Daniel's there to help him, taps the ball in front of him, but goes to ground. There's Wilson in there, comes to Steinburner. He gets a long handball out now to Harada. Harada will go short to McGowan, and McGowan will slow things down. He'll put it on the left boot now, up towards the centre wing position. Players come in hard. Tom got hit on the head with the footy, I think, as the ball ends up with Cotton now. Cotton on the left boot now towards centre-half forward. Big pack of players. Oh, that's a good mark. I would have paid that, but I thought he controlled the footy as it comes back to McGowan. He kicked his leg off and handballed his hands off today, and the kick out towards Slade at centre wing on the grandstand side. 25 possessions for McGowan. He's killing them as the short pass comes to Hopwood now. Hopwood still at centre wing. Wasn't a very long kick, obviously, there from Slade, as Hopwood now puts the ball to out towards between centre and centre-half forward. Up they fly. The ball pumped away from behind. Kent came through, couldn't pick it up. Through comes Gallagher, I think it is. He kicks it out here towards the centre wing, and the mark taken by Dawes. Now Dawes just back with the centre. He goes in short looking for Kemp. Not Kemp, it's there it is, Kemp, and he takes the mark at centre wing. Kemp, who came on to not too sure who he replaced. Crouch it was. Crouch kicks the ball towards centre-half forward. Up they fly. In the middle of the pack was the big bloke in Wilson for Norwood, but the ball forced to ground. And we'll have a bounce down between centre and centre-half forward for the Redlegs.
And you can just feel that the game's changed a bit, hasn't it? The stakes are a bit higher. The players are going in a little bit harder. And although the skills for Norwood still aren't there, at least they're getting their share of possession.
Norwood have certainly lifted up their tempo at this stage, and obviously they can see the game slipping away, and they need to do something very, very quickly, DB.
They certainly do. The ball tapped on by Yerbury. Yerbury tries to buff through the back. Harada gets the handball out. He puts it at the feet of McGowan, but he's still clever enough to get a handball out here to Steinburner. Steinburner goes short to Hopwood, and Hopwood marks again. So two of Central's better players on the day in that possession of passage of footy. Get it out, DB. As it comes to Cotton, he feints onto the left boot and centres the ball, or tries to centre it up towards the centre wing. It's all the doggies back there and put his eyes on the footy, and takes a very good mark on that Slade, and he hasn't been their worst player either as Slade for the Dogs, as he kicks it now to centre-half forward. McArdle's in the van here at the back, Bowman, and in front, almost a good mark there to the Norwood player. Gee whiz, what do you have to do to mark a footy these days? McCormack pounces on the footy. He tries to burst through, gives it to Warrior. Warrior dodges past, gets the handball out to Gallagher. Gallagher still getting possession, kicks it up towards centre-half forward. Marsh in there. The ball pumped away. Paul Ace was in there off Hanzo. The handball out by Cashley is good to Lee. Lee backward of centre now, drives it out towards centre wing. Bellows out there by himself for the Dogs. He takes the ball now. He'll come back inboard. The left footer now is looking for Miserati up at full forward. The ball at the back, good mark to Scotty Bassett in the last line of defence there for the Redlegs. He's got 3 or 4 teammates out wide, and the kick goes out to Gallagher again. So is it Gallagher? No, it's Clement, I think it was. No, in fact, it was Kemp it was, and Kemp kicks it up towards centre wing. Offhand taken there by Daniel. Daniel's kick is a shocker out towards centre wing, bounces in front of his teammate, allows Warrior to pick up the footy, gives it back out here to Kemp. Kemp now kicks it up towards the centre wing position. Up they fly. At the back of the pack, a very good mark taken there by Swatala.
Swatala swings it into the middle of the ground, and he's found Maziarowski. Quickly on with the hand pass, goes to Castley. Castley goes inside half forward, shocking kick. In fact, I think it might have been touched off the boot. And Bowman tries to half volley, misses the ball. Finally, it comes loose, and that's a snap by McArdle, and over the line for a point in the end. Central's now 10-11, 71, and Norwood 6-6, 42.
Blood rule.
Yeah, blood rule. What that is, boys, McGowan actually got belted behind the play by Bowman in that last foray, and he went down, and he stayed down for a while, and he's got a bit of claret coming from the nose, and he is not happy at all.
He's given him a serve too, hasn't he? So, but on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard at Central's at the stage, 10 goals, 11.71. They lead Norwood 6 goals, 6.42, and on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock, we're only just outside of starting time one, and we played 19 minutes in the third quarter. And Norwood making a charge, but gee, they need to kick a couple of goals, don't they, Undies?
They certainly do, and Ricky is not happy. He's having a time of his life out there. He wants to get back out there, and he might have just had a bend in that ugly nose of his.
Well, that's a strange one. That Arnold's come off too. 27 possessions for McGowan. No wonder he wants to stay on there. Norwood springs the ball loose in the centre. Then Kemp gives an awkward hand pass. It was intercepted then by Scotty Lee for Centrals. His kick around the corner touched off the boot. Bassett comes clear with it. What's he doing up in the middle of the ground? Bassett, he swings his kick into full forward. He's looking for Pascoe, who'll probably be outpaced. No, the ball gets around Geister. Geister finally taps it loose, and Central chooses to take the ball to the boundary line. I think that was Hopwood who elected to go to the boundary line, and let's have a throw in and get it back to a 50-50 situation. So the ball to be thrown in. Half forward for Norwood. Yerbury opposed to Maziarowski, and neither gets the tap down. Bodies flying everywhere. Umpire will call for it yet again. So we've travelled, what, 20 minutes in the quarter? Scores are hard to come by. So Maziarowski, who's having a spell in the ruck by the looks, and probably saving Arnold for the last quarter is Peter Jonas. It comes down from the ruck contest, and Scotty Lee, who's obviously playing up the ground now, swings it on the left foot down to half forward. Holm, good work, good pressure, takes possession of the ball, gives a hand pass out to Damasi. Damasi drives it in long. Nobody back there for Centrals. Pitt's going to be the first one there with the left hand. He goes wide out in front of the scoreboard. That was Bowman. Bowman picks it up, goes back into the centre of the ground. Clements is running for it. Clements has got another player running for him, and Cotton gets the ball. Hand passes it even wide again, and this is Gallagher. Gallagher now on the far side, on the centre wing, looks inside half forward, goes long. Bassett's there, and right behind Dave Marsh. Good, clean, one grab take from Marsh, and he gets back quickly. I think Bassett's been moved up forward. That explains why he's down on the forward line at the moment rather than full back, where he's played most of the game. Well, he's looking for a lead, and he can't find one at this stage, so he's going to have to go back and go long to the goal square, and that's exactly what he does. Can any Norwood player take a mark? No, it's bounced over the back, and Switala's no Warriors come in and knocked it through for a behind. So that takes Norwood now to 6 goals, 7.43. They trail Centrals 10 goals, 11.71 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, and we've played 1 minute of time on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock.
Yes, and they only kicked 6 or 7 goals last week, didn't they, Norwood? And they really have struggled up forward in recent times as the ball is taken by Stevens at centre wing from that kick out. He looked for McArdle at the back, Bowman, and Lachlan Bowman takes the mark. And he will go back and kick just right in the centre of the ground for Norwood. He's got Big Yerbury loose, but he decides to kick it over the top of him towards centre half forward. Scotty Lee was in front and thumped it down. Chance for ball eight. He overruns the footy. Through comes Slade. Slade kicks it out towards his centre wing position. Holm is there with also Fleming. The ball back tap. Comes now to McArdle. The short pass is on, and it hits his teammate right on the chest. And that's Josh Coulter, who's on the ground for the Doggies. And he takes the mark about 25 metres out. Yeah, great kick there by the Central District's player in McArdle, and saw his player in Coulter leading, put it out in front of him, and a very, very good mark and good play by Central Districts. Coulter lining up, will kick from around about 40 metres. Slight angle, distance certainly won't be a problem, comes in just off the couple of steps again, and a very, very ordinary kick by the Central Districts player there, pushing it through on the right-hand side for a behind. That now takes Centrals to 10 goals, 12-72. They lead Norwood, though, 6 goals, 7.43. All right, ball kicked back into Pitt, who's all by himself. How the hell he got there, I'll never know, but he kicks it up towards half forward. One-on-one back there. A good mark at the back to Harada in opposition to Ben Wilson. And Harada now across half back for the Doggies. There's the kick out towards centre wing. The ball spills out the back. A chance for Damien Hicks if he can pick it up. He does. The handball's not the best, but it's going to end up out there at centre wing with Stevens, who uses his pace to get to the foot. He taps it on in front of him, then chips it back out to Damien Hicks. Hicks, who followed up, then goes short. He's got the player there in Damasi. Damasi allows the ball to bounce in front of him. Dodges past Fleming, then dodges past Clemens. The kick now from Damasi going in towards full forward. Will it come around? No, it's through for the minor score as the goalpost shudders as somebody hit it. Probably Daniel Holm.
And DB, Holm has given him a huge spray. What he should, and he's right too, he's out there, was never going to kick a goal, should have chipped it to the top of the square, at least given his teammates a chance to get down there and take a mark.
Yeah, he was right in front of the scoreboard, wasn't he, in that deep pocket. It was always going to be very hard for him to kick a goal from there.
His name's not Dacos.
10-13-73, Norwood 6-7-43 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. The kick out going to be costly. McGowan back on the ground, and he's missed also. And gee whiz, how could McGowan miss? He's usually pinpoint accurate, but he missed that time. And the Doggies just throwing away some opportunities here. They've gone after being 8 goals 7 at half-time. They're 10 goals 14, 74 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. The legs are 6-7-43. We're into time on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock.
And the mark is taken by Paul McCormack and is met solidly by Mazurowski out on the half-forward flank for Centrals. The kick quickly to Doreen. Doreen slick hand pass to Dawes because he's in a lot of trouble. Dawes goes with the left leg into centre half forward, looking for Borlase. The ball punched away. It's in dispute now. Norwood swoop on it. Gallagher. The quick hand pass over the top. He's got Kemp. Kemp at half forward now. Didn't know what to do. Finally gives it back to Warrior. Warrior goes on the left leg, and the lead was from Wilson. And the ball taken 50-metre line, just a little bit inside then. And he chips short, and he goes to Warrior. Warrior's got it 45 metres out just quickly. McGowan was brought back on about 5 minutes ago, and ever since then he's had a trainer following him around, so I don't know that that blood's necessarily stopped.
Okay, well, Warrior's going to kick from around about 50-metre line to the southern end, and Norwood, gee, they need a goal badly. Centrals have had all the play. Norwood might be able to get a 1 goal here. Warrior will kick from just inside 50, right foot drop punt goes to the southern end, and it's going past the goals, and it's going through for a point. So that takes Norwood now to 6 goals, 8-44. They trail Centrals 10 goals, 14, 74. And courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company, we'll get some score updates from around the grounds.
Yes, final scores, the Western Bulldogs 22-13, 145, defeated Port 11-12, 78. Essendon 17-14, 116, defeating Melbourne 15-9, 99. And Brisbane 13-16, 94, defeating Collingwood 8-4, 52. Back to Norwood.
Be a party down there at Vic Park tonight then, DB, will there?
No, there won't be, Darryl, as the ball is out the centre wing. It's taken by Herrera, I think, or yes, it was, and he kicks it up in towards full forward. One-on-one here, McCardle and Bowman. Bowman goes for the safety of the boundary line. And that's, no, the ball kept in play. The ball attempted to be kicked off the ground again by Bowman, taken by McCardle. He gives it out here. The handball is here to Damasi. Damasi with a backward handball to Lee. Lee lines up for number 5 and puts it through for another goal for the Doggies. 11 goals, 14, right on the siren, a timely goal. That takes them along to 80. They lead Norwood comfortably, 6-8, 44 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard.
Certainly do, and goal scorers in that quarter for Centrals. You had goals 8-44. They trail Centrals 11 goal 14, and my poor old brother at home, he'd be having an heart attack at the moment.
He wouldn't be happy, would he?
Norwood supporter.
Yeah, he would not be happy.
Yeah, yes.
And if he's listening, bad luck.
Well, I think,
He'll be listening, I tell you.
I think Jonas has done this before where he's taken Arnold off the ground.
Has too, yes.
And saved him for the last 15, 20 minutes of the final quarter. And if he's done that again intentionally, well, it's going to be a match winning.
Surely a ruckman can run out a game of footy, DB.
Well, he's not needed at the moment.
No, he might be just getting Mazurowski into the play a bit, giving him a little bit more run around. That's all. Arnold's had a big year carrying the rucks on his own.
You leave your best player on the ground in the best position all the time. But you taught me that years ago.
I won't argue with it. At the moment, it is Central Districts by 36 points, and it's just about to start the last quarter, and your caller here is Dennis Brown.
Yes, and Norwood need one of the great comebacks of all time here, and they're really down the barrel at the moment. The ball thumped by Yerbury, taken in the centre there by Bassett. Bassett gave it over to his teammate there in Kemp. Kemp up towards half forward. A big pack of players. Nobody can take the ball. Trying to burst his way through there was Herrera. He's tackled. The ball goes to ground, and we've got a bounce down right on the 50-metre area. The attacking 50 metres for the Dogs. For the legs, I should say. They're kicking to the northern end of the parade. At the moment, they're right down the gurgler, 11-14-80. Norwood 6-8-44 as the ball is taken there by Bassett. He's tackled. Comes out now to the player there in Crouch. He got the handball out. Ends up now there with Kemp. Kemp's handball way out wide. Here's a chance now for Doreen. He tries to dodge past. Does so with sheer strength and then kicks a high ball, but kind of lob straight in the arms of Stephen. That's a courageous mark, Michael Stephen. He was running the same way as the footy. The bodies were coming at him, but it didn't matter. He took the mark and gave it to Hopwood, a little chip. Now Hopwood does the same and finds Joseph Hicks. Hicks, who hasn't been their worst player either, he's had a few touches as young Stevens now limping after that heavy collision, but by gee, it was a courageous mark. And that's the sort of thing that's going to win this game for the Doggies. It's a kick now from Joseph Hicks up towards the centre wing position, between centre and half-back actually, and Pitt takes the mark now for Norwood. He's going to go across the ground. He's got Bassett there at centre half-back, and that's the way the footy goes. Bassett will centre it. He's got big Yerbury in the centre, and Yerbury needed to take that mark because McGowan was preying on him that he was going to spill it. He gets the handball out to Warrior, puts him into more strife than Mandrake, but Warrior gets out of it with a handball out wide now to Bassett. Bassett on the right boot, further afield, up towards half forward, over the head of Kemp, taken now by Pascoe. He dodges past, he gives it to his teammate there in the left footer, comes in towards the centre, and the mark taken there for the Dogs by, not sure who that is, but he kicks it out here to Stevens, and Stevens now might have been Hopwood again as Stevens marks the ball. So he's okay after that great mark now. He's at backward now off centre as he kicks the ball high along centre wing. Up they fly over the back of the pack. The ball goes to ground. McArdle and Bowman, and Bowman throwing his weight around. He's been doing it all day. So have to be concentrate on the footy more. Norwood might be a little bit closer.
Yeah, certainly would be, I think.
Ball back into play now, and Mazurowski goes with Yerbury. The ball comes to the advantage of Pitt. Pitt gets the left-handed handball over the top to Warrior, who in turn gives it to Bassett. Scott Bassett goes wide, and it's way too far and way too wide, and Hereda takes the ball, gives it to Steinberner on the far side of the ground. Steinberner backs up, goes inside, looks to centre half forward and finds Bellow. Bellow takes the ball and now comes to this side of the ground. So a switch of play, and he's got Hicks running for him, and Hicks has got Hopwood running for him inside half forward. Hopwood from 45 metres, rides it home, goal! A goal to Centrals, and the arms are raised because that gives them a handy break. We're 42 points, Centrals in front. That'll make it 13-14, 86 to 6-8-44, and we'll go around the grounds courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company.
Your three-quarter time local scores: Eagles 8-7-55 lead South 6-12-48, West Adelaide 17-3-105 lead North 12-8-80, and Sturt 11-6-72 lead Glenelg 9-11-65. Back to Norwood.
Well, that percentage we spoke about at three-quarter time with West Adelaide certainly would be well and truly over Norwood's percentage now. More strife than Mandrake as the ball is kicked or bounced down in the centre. A chance now for Hopwood as he kicks the ball up to the centre of the ground, but taken by Pitt. Pitt gives the ball out now towards half forward. Over the back it goes. Hereda leads in the race for the ball and tries to gather it in. He's hotly pressed by Pascoe. He's still got the footy as Hereda handballs it back inboard to McGowan. McGowan now looking for movement further afield. On the left boot he goes, and he finds his teammate up there in Daniel. And Daniel was pushed as he kicked or marked the footy. It's okay according to the umpire. So Daniel now for the Doggies. Centre wing on the outer side of the ground. Doggies 7 goals in front. Gee whiz, they're going to be hard to beat now. The kick right up towards half forward in front, and the mark taken by McCormack. McCormack now handballs out wide to Pitt. Pitt now along that centre wing on the outer side of the ground. Up they fly. Pascoe at the back, and Pascoe, the big tall arms of Pascoe mark the footy, and he puts it on the left boot up inside the attacking 50, out in front Marsh. At the back there was Damien Hicks. He's got support from He Ain't Heavy, the brother, and that's Joseph as Damien Hicks picks it up and casually out to Hopwood. Over it goes to Joseph Hicks, a long handball out wide. He's got further players out there as it's taken there by Slade. Slade kick into the centre. Damassi takes the footy, marks it strongly between two Norwood players. The kick now from Damassi up inside the attacking 50, and the ball is marked as a free kick. The umpire allows play to go on as it comes out here to Gallagher. Gallagher at half-back will gather it in now for the Norwood side. Runs past McArdle. He kicks it. It's not a good kick, though. Straight down the throat of Stevens, and that's what's been happening all day. The disposals let him down. The handball from Stevens to Bellow. Bellow onto the left boot now. Up towards full forward. It's going to be marked by Holmes, and that's a courageous mark by Holmes. As he had his eyes on the footy, the body of Pitt was coming at him, but Holmes took the mark. And it'll be a 50-metre penalty, but he'll run out of ground because there's only about 15 metres between the ball and the goal line.
So this will be another gimme for the Central District side. And if it's not all over Red Rover, well, it never will be. Lining up for his second goal. He's only about a metre out. Bang it goes. Right in the high little. Second goal to Daniel Holm. Norwood down the gurgler. They're dead and buried in this particular contest anyway. 13 goals, 14, 92 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And the Red League 6-8, 44.
Yeah, fantastic effort there by Holm. He's kicked his second goal, and as we said, the Central District side absolutely doing what they want at will here. Crowd today, 3,230, so a good crowd here at the Norwood Oval. You wouldn't have thought that by looking around, but certainly 3,230 here, and thank you to the Norwood Secretary for letting me know that Undies are a good bit of play.
Well, good play by Centrals, and those 3,200 people, the majority of those will be Norwood supporters, and they would be absolutely disappointed and shattered with this performance by Norwood this afternoon.
Centrals by 48 points. We've travelled 6 minutes into the last quarter, and they stream out of the centre again. And on the left foot goes Steinburner. He's gone to the goal face. Ball over the back, and McCormack rescues it, pushes himself off the post, and then goes over to the outer side of the ground. Dawes takes the ball, feeds the ball back inside by hand to McCormack. He goes to the wing. Mazurowski's up there for Centrals, brings the ball to ground. Finally, the ball has actually got across to Yerbury. Yerbury for Norwood gets it into the half-forward line. Ball over the back, tapped straight into the hands of Joe Hicks. Joseph Hicks comes to the grandstand side of the ground, and it's picked up there by Stevens. Good skills around the corner. Damasi, good skills again into the path of McArdle. McArdle moves inside half forward, goes for goal, or is he just going to the goal face? And either way, it's slipped through and over the back for a behind. And that leaves the score. Centrals 13, 15, 93. A handy, you would say, 49-point break. Norwood 6-8, 44.
I tell you what, the fat ladies will loosen up their tubes right now to have a big sing-song.
The ball kicked back in. It's Clements down there at fullback, kicks the ball back in. He looks to the far side of the ground. Yerbury comes out, and the ball punched away by Mazurowski. I think he might be in a bit of trouble here. The umpire's coming in. He tackled Warrior, who's going to get a free kick, and he seemed to go after him after he tackled him. Rubbed his face a bit. So Norwood on the run, they really need to find some run, and the ball spilled in the middle. Fairly straightforward mark for ball ace. Now he just skies the ball down to centre half forward off the left leg. He put himself under pressure, and the boy at the bottom of the pack there tackled. Norwood finally get the ball away again, and that was Gallagher. Gallagher off the left leg over the top of the leading Marsh. Hicks is first back for the ball, recovers, sweeps it around the corner. Lovely little pass. He finds Bellow. Bellow's at half back for Centrals. Looks into the middle of the ground. Beautiful pass. Mazurowski's getting those touches. He goes with his left leg, and that's a mistake. Another mistake made by Warrior. Cannons into the back of McGowan. The ball is allowed to go on. The umpire called a free kick, but let the play go. And finally, it ends with Slade. He goes long, and the ball pulled up on the last line of defence by Clements, who comes out again to the grandstand side. And over the back now, and it'll be out of play. Just couldn't handle that ball. Couldn't get a handle on it, Sam McArdle.
Boys, what the devil was Warrior thinking? If you don't mind. Yeah, that's the sort of stuff 14-year-olds do. He's absolutely tried to mount him. There was no... He could have run past, take the ball himself.
That's right.
All he wanted to do was knock McGowan A over T.
Yeah, well, that's the key to it. He could have ran past and got the ball himself, but instead didn't do that and tried to knock him into next week. But
Peter Road must be going greyer by the minute.
Yeah, fair enough. Ball centre wing on the grandstand side, right in front of the 5RPH commentary position. We've had everything today. As the ball is thrown in, big Yerbury, big Pascoe takes the ball out of the air. He's tackled strongly by Mazurowski, who wants holding the ball, but I don't think that would have been holding the ball.
I agree with you, Neil. I reckon if a ruckman actually grabs the ball and then is tackled, that means that he's trying to get rid of it. He's trying to actually take the ball to get rid of it, and his object is to tap the ball out. I think there is a case there.
The law says prior opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Right, there's Cotton with a real in and under kick that went nowhere. He's pulled away from the footy. The umpire allows the play on, picked up by Gallagher. His kick along centre wing. Bounces awkwardly, taken there by Hopwood. Hopwood on the boundary. Still got the footy, and the umpire said we'll have a bounce, a free or a throw-in.
Smithy, you said the fat lady's been warming up. She's been warming up since about the 10-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yes, and the boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. You wonder what we're talking about. Central's at 13-15-93. The Redlegs are 6-8-44 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Steinburner now with a handball to Squatala. Back to Steinburner, the old 1-2. The kick smarted up towards the centre wing position. Player being hung onto there was the Slade. Sleeping through the ball out the outside set. Play off. Feeding, and the rules have gone out the window. Up towards the centre wing position. McCormack out to Borlase. Borlase will end up with McGowan. McGowan's got the footy. His kick up towards half forward. Damassi's got the footy. Oh, dodges beautifully past. He's going to have a shot for goal. The kick's on its way. He's put it through the high nettle. Another goal to Central District. And as Doris Day said in the movie as Calamity Jane, it's a massacre, and that's exactly what it is. 14 goals, 15 the Doggies. Norwood are 6 goals, 8-44 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, and the first goal to Damassi.
Well, for mine, that is the Captain Snooze goal of the day. And the reason I say that is he ran with a fly to the ball, and Constable Pitt was coming at him. And Smithy, you said, oh, in the background, because that elbow was raised. It missed him by a whisker.
If he had hit him, he would have been on Green Junction Road.
And he would have broken his jaw. But I'll tell you what, he showed courage, steadied, and kicked a very good goal.
And Green Junction Road's a fair way away from here, I'll tell you.
Well,
the ball is taken by Slade. Slade kicks it out towards half forward. And the Doggies into attack again. What's happened to the Redlegs? They've disappeared. They're not even out there as the ball taken by Bowman. His handball is over the head of both his players and gives the opportunity for Slade to force the ball out over the boundary line for a throw-in.
And one thing you don't see a lot of, DB, is the Norwood supporters leaving during the game. And they are leaving in truckloads at the moment.
And it's not to beat the traffic either, I'm here to tell you.
No, and mind you, those trucks are small. There's about 3,000 here, but anyway, the ball taken by Dawes. He gives it over the top to Cotton. Cotton's hurried little kick out the centre wing taken by Borlase. Borlase kick now up to the leader, Fleming. Beautiful pick up on the half volley by Fleming. He's going to get caught. Going to be nearly holding the ball. No, he got still going to the footy. I think he ran too far. Finally holding the ball. And they can do no right, the Redlegs, and the Doggies can do no wrong. And the kick is out the half back, taken by Harada. And Harada's got jumpers loose here at centre wing. That's the way the ball goes. There's 2 of them there, Damassi and also Hopwood. Hopwood taps it down to Damassi. Damassi's handball is good. It finds Joseph Hicks. Hicks now will come onto his right boot. Now he'll come onto his left. No, he'll come back on his right boot. Make up your mind, Joseph, as he kicks it towards half forward. Up in front, Scotty Lee over the back, taken by Warrior. Warrior will kick it towards the centre of the ground where it's taken by Dawes. Dawes went to handball, and Big Pascoe wasn't looking. So Dawes has got to kick it himself as he comes onto the left boot. Dodges past the player. Attempts to bounce the ball fair dinkum. I don't believe what I've seen here today as the kick is straight down the throat of Stevens, and that's been typical of the Redlegs play today.
Well, he kicked it to 4 Central District players standing there, and Stevens has marked it, and he's now looked out on the wing here and found Joseph Hicks, who's gone in long looking for McCardle, and McCardle in front. He's almost brought the ball green. He did bring the ball down to the ground, and a free kick should be paid there to the Central's player, but it doesn't, and it's the Constable Pitt picks the ball up. And has given a quick handball over to Gallagher. Gallagher with a quick kick up forward, but there he is, Centrals again.
Yeah, once again the kick from Stevens, taken by Hopwood. Hopwood back to Stevens. Stevens now the drop punt up the half forward. Big Pascoe in front, couldn't take the mark offhand. It's beautifully taken there for the Redlegs there by Dawes. Dawes kick up towards the centre wing position. Offhand's a chance now for Kemp. Crouch, he can't pick up the footy. The umpire said he was grabbed too high, and the free kick to be taken there by Adam Crouch for the Redlegs.
One thing you've got to ask yourself now, will Norwood beat their score from last week? They kicked 6 goals, 11 last week, only 6 goals again this week. 6 goals, 8 so far, so it's very interesting times for the Norwood Football Club.
So Norwood breaking to the far side of the ground. That's Cotton. Swings around on the right foot and then decides to go left. And then he kick around the corner. Doesn't manage a bad bounce really for Borlase. And McGowan knocks it wide for the advantage of a teammate. And Central are away again, and it's Damassi on the far side of the ground. Takes a bounce, has a look. He's got a paddock to run in. Eventually goes beautifully. Had the option of 2 people. He could have gone to Bello, but Holm called him out. Danny Holm takes the ball, handballs it on to Daniel. Daniel at 50. Another handball over the top to Hopwood. Hopwood from about 40 metres. Can't swing it back. That's a behind. And really, it's just adding injury, it's insult to injury, isn't it? 55 points now. That'll be 56 points. My maths has always been great, hasn't it? 14, 17, 100. Centrals, Norwood, 6-8, 44, 6-8, 44.
31 scoring shots. That's what an absolute debacle.
And from the ball back in, from the kick in back into play and out on the full from Central District.
Came to Slade, and Slade turned around on his right foot and had a ping at goal, but it did travel to the left of the goals and went out on the full.
And with the advantage of the free kick, it is number 2 over there, which is Ben Wilson. He's been shifted from full forward in this last quarter, kicks it along, and finally, and it's a big mark actually by Pascoe, gets up over the top, hasn't taken many of those today. In fact, I think that's his 3rd. The handball comes across to the running Bassett, and Bassett goes long into the centre of the ground and high, and Harada looks like, oh, he got 2 purchases on the ball, but then Doreen knocked it out of his hands. It comes to Yerbury. Yerbury gets the hand pass out, and the player underneath the pack was from Norwood, and there was Central's Casserly and Harada on top of him.
And there has been a change. Heath Hopwood has been taken from the ground, and Justin Casserly has come back onto the ground.
Hopwood would be suffering from some kind of leather poisoning, wouldn't he? The ball bounced down, and in dispute still, the umpire will probably call for it again. No, it springs loose, and the player, I think it was Clements there, but Cotton, was it? He's beset with tacklers, and the umpire eventually will call for the ball again.
I think he tried to thread his way through the pack.
Oh, beautiful one, DB.
Boom, boom. Okay, ball into play. Finally, again, the slick hands from Centrals. It comes out through a chain out the back. Swatala kicks it wide, and he's looking for Stevens, who gets his man in Gallagher under the ball, takes possession, goes along the wing to a 2-on-1, and over the back the ball goes, and Damasi picks the ball up, goes into centre half forward, or a bit beyond that. It's inside 50 anyway for Centrals, but the ball comes over the back, and clearing it will be Ben Wilson. Wilson goes wide onto the outer side of the ground, and at half back he finds Warrior, takes the ball, plays on, goes long, finds beautiful kick. In fact, one of the better ones that you'll see from Norwood today. He's found Bassett. Bassett goes inside, looking into the forward zone for Norwood for a lead or somebody, and he doesn't find anybody. He finds Hicks, and Central come away again, and again on the end of that pass was Michael Stevens. Stevens goes long, he's got Damasi loose again. Damasi's had a few possessions in this last quarter. He's got a player on the lead, and that's Holm. Holm cut off, but managed to push aside McCormack, takes the ball, hand pass back over to Bello on the left leg, and can't make the most of it. Gee whiz, you'd think that ball was going to go with the left leg to the right.
Glenn McGrath,
that was one of our outswingers.
Glenn McGrath hit the pitch, and she beat away straight to first slip.
Okay, the scores 14 goals, 17 Central Districts, 101. They lead Norwood, 6 goals, 8:44 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. And on the day fencing caravan time clock, we played 16 minutes into the last quarter.
Tell you what, if McGrath could bowl out swingers like that, he'd never bowl. They'd all be wide. A huge swing, wasn't it? As the ball is marked out there by Pitt. So Pitt at half-back along the outer side of the ground. Up they fly. The ball thumped away there by Harada. McGowan was there. He couldn't take the foot. He comes out here now to Kraus. He goes to ground. The ball underneath him. And another bounce out there at centre wing. On the outer side of the ground, almost into time on him as Dave Benson caravan time clock. And if you're a Norwood supporter and you've just tuned in, I suggest you sit down, because on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, Central District are 14-17, 101. The Redlegs are 6-8-44. Down goes the bounce. Up they go. Mazarowski gets the tap away. Out towards centre wing. Out there is Steinburner. Steinburner's got it. The handball is good. He gives it to his teammate, who's buried into the turf. That may have been Slade. And the umpire said the ball has been forced out over the boundary line for another throw-in. Has the PA system announcing a raffle for the Redlegs, and they probably need every cracker after this performance as the ball is thrown in. The ball almost taken out. Here's a chance now as it's picked up by the player there in Kemp. Kemp's handball to Warrior. Warrior back to Kemp. Beautifully intercepted though for the doggies by Slade. Slade's handball is good. It comes out to Bello. Bello to McGowan. McGowan tries to dodge past, got the handball back. Wasn't a good one, but luckily it's been picked up, kicked inside the 50. A chance for Scotty Lee. Always met from behind, pushed out of the contest, and finally it's Clements who emerges with a footy for the legs. Back towards centre wing. Up they fly. Borlase was in front, and the mark is Doreen or no, it is Borlase, and Borlase takes the mark at centre wing. He'll chip it over there looking for Fleming. Fleming in front and takes the mark clearly this time in front of his opponent in McPherson. So Fleming now will kick a high ball up onto the half forward playing. Up they fly at the back. Joseph Hicks taps the ball towards the boundary line. That's where it's going to go, is it? In there is Casserly. The ball's still in play right on the boundary line, I would suggest, and we'll have a bounce down in that right full forward pocket.
I tell you what, DB, during that call you said that Central's Norwood players were selling a raffle. I guarantee that a Central's player would win it.
You're right the way it's on today. As the bounce down goes, as Holm comes off the ground, and replacing him is the young man in Josh Coulter. And there's no doubt about Holm. He certainly is a competitor. There's no doubt about that. And it's got some skills there too. We've seen him do a couple of clever things today as the free kick has been paid out there, and Not too sure what the free kick was for, but it looks like Big Yerbury's got it out there in the right full forward pocket. He's right in front of the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. As we'll wait for Yerbury now to pot shot this goal in towards the goals. It's not a bad looking kick. I tell you what, he may have put it through. It's a magnificent kick from the pocket. And the way Norwood have been kicking the footy today, that would have been 1,000 to 1 to go through the high diddle-diddle, and it has. So Norwood have beaten their score of last week. They move along to 7 goals, 850. Central District are 14-17, 101 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard, courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company. Will go round the ground.
West Adelaide 17-3-105 leading North 13-10-88. The Eagles 12-9-81 leading South 8-12-60, and Sturt 13-10-88 leading Nog 9-13-67. Back to Norwood.
The margin 51 points as the ball goes down in the centre again, and it's Doreen comes away with it for Norwood. Bombs it in long. Bassett's got front position. Good grab. Good strong grab in front of Hicks. Scotty Bassett did very well there.
It's all too late though now for the Norwood side.
Just into time on now. Yes, might be a bit late, I think.
Anything, it's about the only time today, boys, where they've got the ball out of the centre, kicked it long to a spot, and they've actually had people there to take a mark.
That's right. Well,
why would you not do it earlier in the game when you got some tools down there?
No, you're dead right, Undies. I don't know why. Scotty Bassett, anyway, kick from 40 metres out, directly in front. And as we said before, Norwood not having a real good day. Comes in and the kick looks like it's going to be okay. The goal umpire's got over it and said, yep, that's going over my head. That's another goal. So that takes Norwood to 8 goals, 850. They trail Central Districts 14 goals, 17, 101. So that's 8 goals, 856 Norwood. And that is Scotty Bassett's first goal. They have not had a multiple goal scorer, Undies, which is always going to be a very telltale sign that you're not going to win the game.
Always going to be a problem, but you've got the likes of Marsh, Yerbury and the big fella Pascoe that can be used down there. You would have thought the common sense footy says get it down to those blokes as quickly as you can.
And get it in the air and get it in there one-on-one as quickly as you can, as you say, and hope for a grab like we just saw with Scotty Bassett.
Well, worst case scenario, you get a crumb. The crumbs can run on.
Back in the middle of the ground, and it comes out to Norwood again, and Doreen running forward of the play again takes the ball, gets the hand pass out to Yerbury on the left leg, pumps it long into full forward, the bounce, oh, you wouldn't believe it, has it been touched just on the line. It went over the head of Hicks and his opponent, and the ball went, I would say, within a metre of being over the line before Hicks managed to get back and just touch it. The ball back into play now. Damien Hicks kicks it short to Bello. Bello goes to the scoreboard side of the ground on the left leg, chips it wide. He's got running for him there in Casserly. Casserly then across to McGowan. That's his 35th touch, by the way. It was a pretty ordinary one too. He's just scrubbed that kick a bit. So the ball's in dispute right on centre wing, breaking through the middle. That's young Coulter, isn't it? The left leg up forward, and oh gee, that looked like it was in the back. The ball's gone over the top. Wilson looked like he was in the back of his opponent. It's come to Scotty Lee. Scotty Lee swinging around, perhaps looking for his 6th goal. He's satisfied though with, oh gee, I thought that might have been even a mark to. And out of all that, I think the umpire, well, that was interesting because Herrera looked like he'd taken the mark. He virtually turned around to the umpire and said, I've taken the mark. And in the meantime, the ball had come loose. And one of the Norwood players ran straight into the goal umpire, who was frantically trying to signal that it was a behind.
It was good. It was a good bump by the goal umpire, actually.
So out of all that, Centrals move another point further to the lead, and the score is Centrals 14-18, 102, Norwood 8-9, 57. Clements will kick the ball back into play. We've travelled, what, 22 minutes in the last quarter, so 2 minutes into time on. Running down and taking a strong note. 2 grabs. Yerbury finally gathers the ball on the ground. You miss it. 2 to choose from. Split the difference. And away went Steinberner. Steinberner inside 50 lines them up and sprays the ball wide and out on the ball. Disappointing finish. But then again, the whole play was disappointing, wasn't it? Clements takes the free kick from the out on the full decision. Kicks looking for Bowman. Bowman takes a clean grab on the half forward, on the half back line for Norwood. He's looking, and oh gee, a shocking kick too, because he picked out Doreen against 3 Centrals players. Centrals take the ball away. Bello chips short. He finds Geister. Geister's at half forward. He goes to the lead of Scotty Lee. Scotty Lee takes it inside 50, dodges, weaves, finally gets it onto the right boot, into the face of goal, and he's kicked a goal. You wouldn't believe it. That's his 6th. Wonderful goal from Scotty Lee. Another contender for goal of the day, surely.
That would be a fair chance to win the goal of the day at this stage. Anyway, that's Central District's 15th goal. They go 15-18, 108.
They lead Norwood 8 goals, 9-57. And DB, what do you reckon?
I think it was Jerry Reid, was it? When you're hot, you're hot, and when you're not, you're not.
Yes, well, that's certainly, for mine, that's the captain's snooze goal today. He did it very well, the old fella. He basically just kept propped. Clements did actually, his opponent, kept him wide. No, he wouldn't want to come back inside. But Blamey down, he snuck it in from the hardest pocket on the ground.
Right, bounced down in the centre. Stevens had a chance. He couldn't pick it up. It ends up with Fleming. Fleming will get the handball out. He gives it to Kemp. Kemp now from 50. Bombs a drop punt in towards full forward, but Damien Hicks is all by himself back there on the last line. He'll come across the ground to the back pocket on the grandstand side. He's got McGowan there. The dogs everywhere at the moment as the ball is kicked on by to Massey. Massey in turn up to Castley. Castley at centre wing, and he'll go back and kick right in front of the 5 RPH commentary position. 11.97 on the dial as the ball is kicked up towards half forward, and the mark has been paid here. Well, fair dinkum. It's got to be a doggy mark, and it is, it's a Norwood mark, and he paid it the other way. Well, fair dinkum, that's the icing on the cake for me up today. He's got a 50-metre penalty against the
absolute goose.
And I think, Crossy, you got something to say there, mate? You reckon he was crossed there?
Well, the original decision was nobody took that mark. He was going to bounce it.
That was the right decision.
And McCormick then remonstrated with his direct opponent, in that case was Christian McPherson. So the umpire ruled free kick. And then McCormick lost his way, I think. He just dived forward over the mark, 5 yards, basically said, look, I dare you to penalise me 25 metres.
Absolute goose.
Well, Christian McPherson's lining up for what will be his first shot at goal. And his first goal in front of goal, and he's kicked it right off the side, straight through from behind, and probably justice there. But anyway,
right off the side, Smithy. He just got a score.
Just got a score. Anyway, we'll check scores courtesy of the Great Southern Pie Company.
Final score from Adelaide Oval, Eagles 12-10-82, defeating South 8-12-60. Still playing in other matches, West 19-4-118, leading North 14-11-95, and Sturt 13-13-91, leading Glenelg 10-13-71.
Here at the Norwood Oval is 15 goals, 19-109. They lead Norwood 8 goals, 9-57.
Well, I think I've got 4 out of 4 today. That's the first time it's happened this year. I'll give you the strong tippers. The ball is thrown in, taken there by young Dawes. He kicks it to centre wing. Up they fly. Off hands it comes. Bassett was there for Norwood. We had Swatala for the Doggies, but it's forced out over the boundary line for a throw in. So well into time on the Dave Benson Caravan time clock, and the Doggies 15-19-109, Norwood 8-9-57. So there's going to be a couple of important games coming up next week, I might tell you.
Yes,
the one down at Albert and Sturt v the Maggies.
Got the premiership table here all ready to go.
And the one that we might have will be a bottler at Richmond, Westies versus the Bays, as the ball is thrown out to Steinburner. Steinburner now on the left boot. He's got the lead of Lee. Lee pushed in the back. The umpire says play on as it forced out over the boundary line, with Ben Wilson hot in pursuit, and also McCardle for the Doggies. And we'll have a throw-in in the left full forward pocket now for the Dogs. 15-19-109 on the Torrens Arms Hotel scoreboard. Norwood 8-9-57. It's been an absolute whitewash here, and you wouldn't credit that it was Norwood that were playing for a spot in the top 3, and the Doggies with no hope of making the 5. The ball taken by Geister. Geister may have kicked the goal out of the pack. I think he has. He's drilled it. So big Geister, and Jonas giving a few of his players a run up forward and a run on the ball. And Geister's kicked his first goal naturally because he was playing at full back. So gee whiz, you heard Crossy say earlier, rubbing salt in the wound. But when your full back comes and has a run on the ball and kicks a sausage roll, it's time to throw everything out of the oven and go home, I'd say. 16-19, Norwood 8-9-57.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen a side, and I've certainly never seen a Norwood side handle the ball as poorly as they have this afternoon.
Yeah, good point, Undies. It's certainly their skill level has been way down.
Particularly at the parade. Very unfortunate. Sent the crowd home. Very disappointed. Bello comes away for Centrals from the middle of the ground. Goes directly to full forward. And Centrals actually led to the ball by Pitt then. In fact, Bowman it was. In any case, Norwood come away with it. They work it to the far side of the ground, and Borlase takes the ball. So we're on the far side of the ground, on the centre wing. And Borlase, and isn't that indicative of how bad they've been? The last kick of the day, Borlase kicked it out on the full on a simple pass to Bassett. So Norwood completely overwhelmed by Central District today. Central's a final score. Central's 16-19, 115. Norwood 8-9-57.
And goals.